Oliver, hello, hello. How's the eye? Always first one here. So I just go into streams on. It's good. My eye's doing all right. It's not great, but it's doing all right. It's healing up. I can see, which is also a good thing. Yeah, there are some minor complications with the surgery, but overall, it's like those are normal complications. So I may have to have another surgery down the road, but as is, we're gonna give it another month to heal, and then we'll take stock then. So otherwise, it's much better. There's a little bit of blood in it, but like I said, normal complications. So we'll see what happens. Victor, how are you doing today? I'm doing all right. To answer your question, Oliver, I'm doing all right. Eye's doing all right. We're gonna start off drawing some rugbies today. We have a pretty long list from Monday. Which is great. So we will do that. Gonna start with the rugby. And we'll go from there. Hopefully today will be pretty chill. Getting your vision back bit by bit. Yeah. So like yesterday I drove for the first time in since the surgery. So it's been a week or two since I drove, and it was much easier. So I am functionally, I have most of my vision back, like 90%, 95%, something like that. And there's just little bits of things that can be done to help cleaning that up, and hopefully the swelling will go down and everything will be good to go. So I am lucky and joyful that that is the case, right? After basically not being able to see for like 3 or 4 months. It is a big difference, and now I'm just kind of learning to live with what is normal now. It's good. It's a good thing. Guess I got shadow banned for being weird. Huh? Couldn't talk when I joined the stream. That is strange. I thought this wasn't going to happen today because necessary adulting at doctors. Oh, that was yesterday. Yeah, I didn't stream yesterday because I was at the doctor's all day. So that was fun. But I really went to the doctor yesterday because I'm like, I think I'm going blind, and they're like, no, you're good. So my eye's apparently gonna stay in my head, so I'm happy about that. So we'll keep at it. Let's see what we got going on here. We're at 25 suggestions. I want to make sure our Discord audio is functioning properly. I'm gonna put this over here though, so I can see it. I think part of my problem is that I'm always whipping my head back and forth. I need to not do that today. I need to chill out for a week. Discord. There we go. Good. Hello, hello.
Howdy.
Discord is working today, so that's a bonus. You guys get to hear me finish my last bit of breakfast. Cool. Enjoy. I'm gonna warm up with the rugby today.
I have not put any thought into the type of mushroom I'm gonna draw. Maybe I'll try a different plant creature.
The Eloquence Bard, I think, is kind of the most iconic. Yeah, I would say it's probably one of the more iconic ones. It's like,
yeah,
especially in older editions, like they were so based around their performances, which 5e doesn't necessarily require you to do as a bard, especially if you go like College of Swords. So you still have a functionality of it, but it's not as prevalent of like, I'm going to sing a song or play my guitar through the whole fight. boy.
Did 3.5 have performance in or as a skill as well that gave?
I believe
like,
so. Yeah.
Outside of battle powers, yeah.
So I think so.
I know Pathfinder did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never clear on what Pathfinder has and 3.5 doesn't.
They're pretty close. My guy plays the pipe. Oh, jeez. I totally read that as my guy plays the pipe organ with his testicles. And I was like, oh, what? That's a weird thing a bard could do. Yeah.
Yeah, I've known some bards who absolutely would have tried that. Also, I feel like that's something I think Sam Riegel might have actually tried IRL.
Probably.
Huh.
I want to see a party trick, yeah. There's worse bards out.
100% there's worse bards out there.
Yeah, I think bard and rogue are the two kind of misnomered classes.
Mm.
That really like they kind of get a disservice from their iconic type. It's like I like the idea of a bard just being a support character, but like they don't fit into the healer or cleric thing, so it's like they're in a kind of a weird spot. Because like the battle, what is the goblin battle master? Fire Dancer is another one. Like that's a cool bard goblin subtype. And whip, is it a whip dance? I don't remember. There's a couple like little monster archetype bards that like they don't have to sing and dance. They're just like whipping people into a fervor. Like that the bard could be a lot darker and doesn't always have to be that like sexy boy that I think the iconic thing pops out with. And then with the rogue, same thing. Like you could have a very eloquent and technical minded person that doesn't have to be a criminal. Like, and I think those two things are the kind of, both of those classes get a bad rap because of their iconography, or at least they get typecast really hard, and I don't think that has to be the case.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like at the same time though, like a lot of my favorite I mean, not bards. Most of my favorite bards are do not play to the stereotype, but most of my favorite rogues don't play to the stereotype.
Yep.
Especially like I especially feel like a rogue does not benefit from being an edgelord, which is what they usually are, right? Like if you look like an assassin and act like an assassin, and people know you're an assassin, you're not a very good assassin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, James Bond, John Wick. Like,
yeah. Well,
but would you consider those rogues? Like that's kind of where I'm getting at. It's like, yeah, you don't have to be the street urchin, Victorian thug to be a rogue. Like you can be all kinds of things. And then, Bionic is saying, hot take, the best bard flavor was full acrobat or jester. Dwarven drummer. Yeah, those all sound really cool. Like the music is kind of, I think you just need to be able to inspire people, and 3.5 and 4th edition kind of leaned into that really hard as like music being the main focus. And that's why like acrobat kind of bled into both of those different things. And I like that. I like bards that have weapons that are instruments, like a staff that's a flute and an axe that's a guitar. Those are both funny. I agree. But like at the same time, that's kind of my point. It's like you don't have to be musically inclined to be a good bard. So
I think the favorite bard I've ever drawn was for our Artist Arcana with the Warforged, who was a flute.
Yeah.
She
really
was an ocarina. Yeah.
the porcelain organ.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Oliver says, I remember you saying that rugby generally reflects your mood, and today he looks drunk. I'm a little just like, I'm done with like everything right now. It's been a week. It's been a week, and I just need to be a mindless sock puppet today. Yeah. So maybe that's just, today's a Muppet day. Careful with the axe. Welcome in. It's like tacos or burritos better. That's a good question. Just don't take straight down. Tacos or burritos?
Me, myself, personally, I like tacos better. My body likes burritos better because I have a hard time with corn, and tacos are almost always better with corn tortillas.
So I love cheap ass tacos. Like, if I'm eating tacos, I want to eat 10 tacos. That being said, like, there's a place down the street that sells like I was gonna say tapatio, that's not right. What's the little hand food tacos? Soft shells, super tiny. It's like street food.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I've never known the name, like the proper name for them.
I think it starts with a T. Mini tacos. They're technically mini tacos, yeah, but shoot, doesn't matter. They are great. I love that. And so like soft shelled tacos, little tiny soft shelled tacos that aren't just like flour tortillas, but actually like the little tiny ones. So good. But that being said, there's nothing that beats a giant burrito. Like 2 or 3 meals of food crammed into a giant tortilla is amazing. So, do I like better? Depends, because crunchy tacos just nom 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 nom. But giant burrito also good.
Having exams coming up and crapping myself for their math is going to screw me over, as well as French. Best of luck. We just keep practicing.
That's all you can really do. I had a math teacher when I was taking calculus, and I went and talked to him. I was like, man, I'm not doing well in this class. This was like Calc 2, I think. And he sat down with me and he started talking to me. He's like, this. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And he's like, how do you not know what that is? I'm like, I don't know. I took calculus 5 years ago. He's like, if you don't know what this stuff is and like you can't retain it, you should not be doing math as your major. And I'm like, I'm not a math major. He's like, why the hell are you in this class? So, sometimes it's okay to like hit a limit of like, I don't really enjoy this and it's hard. Why am I doing it? So yeah, if you're struggling with math, I don't want to say like rethink your life, but like, is that the right type of math for you to be doing? That being said, math is also hard. So like, if you're struggling, that's okay.
Yeah, see, because what you've just described, that like I hit that limit in every single required math class I ever took.
Yep. Probably shouldn't be a math-heavy career, then, I would suggest.
Well, maybe that's why I chose to study art, which was not a math-heavy career, but I still was required to take some math classes. Anyway.
Yep. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to be tough. But just determine whether or not you're not enjoying it because it's hard, or you're not enjoying it because it's just not something you enjoy.
Yeah.
Talk to your advisors about it.
Yeah, and just do the best you can. Yeah, talk to your advisors about it is really good advice. Advice that I never took myself.
C's get degrees. All you gotta remember, like, C's get degrees.
Yeah. There's once you're in college, there's no reason to hold on to toxic perfectionism. Your grades really don't matter as long as you're passing.
Yep.
Unless you're trying to get into like the most top-rated law firm ever, but you know,
Bionic, that is pretty common. I had a lot of people I know took stats. I didn't have to, luckily. It was an option, but I didn't take it. And of the like 10 people that I know that started that class, I think only 2 or 3 of them finished it. They all dropped out because they're just like, this is too much. It's just too much work. So Is that a myconid? Yeah, usually a myconid.
I mean, I usually start with a myconid. I haven't looked at any interesting mushroom variants lately, or I mean, before I started this. So I think I'm just doing like a rooted plant monster. It might be a plant-based zombie.
Same with my further math class. My brother was right. People drop like flies. Yeah, because like there's an interesting point of, especially in college mathematics, where the functionality of math drops off. Like if you're taking advanced, like anything that is, I don't even know if, like, Jump Rope took Calc 3, and I don't know if she needed it. I think it was like an optional thing for her degree. It might have been Calc 3 or Stats. She might have taken both. I don't know for sure. But like, there's a point where once you take those classes, it's like there are more and more fewer jobs. Like you're getting so specialized in something. Like engineers need statistics, and but like vector mathematics is less useful to a lot of people, but it's way more difficult too. So it's like, it's interesting. It's like you can really specialize, especially if you're going into like astrophysics and stuff. It's like there's only so many jobs that actually even need to think about that, let alone be really good at it.
Yeah.
So, I had to hire a tutor for stats. That makes it, yeah, I mean, that's totally fair. I tutored a lot of people in math. Handful of people. I think at one point I had like 3 or 5 people that I was doing that for. But that was like low level math, like introduction to math, because I got an A in the class, and then calc was tough. Just doing crim is not that bad.
I don't know what that is.
Means. Yeah. Math is a language. So don't stress out about it. Everyone stresses out about math.
Yeah.
Like I guess don't stress out about being stressed out about it. That's normal. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No reason to pile anxiety on top of the stress.
It's okay to be stressed out about it. Natural to be stressed out about it. I went to the doctor yesterday because, I had weird shit happening in my eye, and I was just like, I feel really stupid for coming here because I'm pretty sure you're just going to tell me it's fine, it's healing, you just need to give it time. And he's like, yep, that's true. But they're like, you've noticed a bunch of things that we kind of expected, and most people will either deal with it or not care, and so whatever. So that's why I said, like, my vision is pretty well back. Like, it's hard to actually tell, but I can tell. And he's like, most people just live with it, like they don't actually notice it, but because I'm assuming it's because I'm so used to like high intensity vision things like video games and art, that I'm noticing these like little aberrations. And he's like, so we could do another surgery to like clean up your vision, but most people just get used to it, and you might just give it a month, see what happens. It's like, okay, so we'll go from there. But yeah, I felt really silly and like just kind of stupid because I was like, I don't think I'm gonna die, but like I don't know what's happening. And he's like, I want you to come in. I want you to come in if you think there's something weird every time. Like, because it might be weird. Like, there might be one time when it is actually weird. So anxiety is a strange thing because it can wreck you, but also it's like, it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be hitting you and ready for stuff.
It's an evolved behavior for a reason.
Yep. I went from barely high school math to uni math and got an A, so I can't be stupid. Criminology. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Chicken Alfredo with fried chicken rather than grilled chicken is awesome. I mean, yeah, that's a good. There's a little bit of a crunch factor to it. Like, you don't have to have garlic bread. We used to make a chicken parmesan sandwich, which is like super redundant. because you
Yes.
take breaded chicken and put it in a sandwich. But it's really good. And then people were like, "Can I get that with the Alfredo sauce?" And it's like, yeah, people do that all the time. It's really weird.
What if we take a thing that we've already covered in carbs and covered in more carbs?
Mm-hmm. Seems like the bard of
Such
eloquence.
an American.
Yeah.
It's like the foundation of American cuisine.
Let me read this. It seems like the Bard of Eloquence focuses heavily on the core elements of bardic inspiration, bardic charisma checks. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. It's kind of the most iconic version of the bard. If you think about like what a bard should be, it's that. Kind of like, I really think the Berserker Barbarian is probably the most iconic, but apparently people hate it. Breadsticks with Italian dressing are so really good. Oh yeah. Olive Garden, I'm not going to say it's nice, but it is functional. It gives you what it delivers what it says it will.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan
which is a carb high.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of like focaccia breadsticks. Like deep fried breadsticks.
Yes. Same. If it's greasy enough that I don't have to put anything on it to moisten it, it's good bread.
Yeah. All right. So we have 25 today. So I'm going to roll a d6 and a d20. If I roll 26, I'm going to do number 1. That's how we're going to do it. And I rolled an 8. Oh, okay. A pink, skinny, fairy half-breed named Taffy. I couldn't put that sentence together in my head. I'm like, what is a pink, skinny half-breed? A fairy. But I don't know what it's half-breeded to. Like, a rock? They're a druid and they turn animal friends pink. Okay. Nope, it says animal friends of his pink. I don't know what that means either. There's a little bit of some continuity errors in this sentence.
Autocorrect.
Yeah.
Fucked with that sentence.
Oh, friends of his pink. He turns animal friends of his pink. Got it. Okay. Pink, skinny, fairy, half-breed, named Taffy. I don't know what the other half of their fairiness is, so we're just going to draw a pink fairy named Taffy, which I think is pretty great. I think that is pretty good. We're going to be drawing it in blue, which is maybe this should be a... No, I'm not going to draw in hot pink. That's going to be really confusing. So yeah. It's gonna
Magenta.
Be blue. Yeah, it's going to be blue Taffy. We'll give him some magenta tattoos or something. You start a new poll.
Hell yeah, blue and magenta are my flag colors.
Nice. Took me a second. I was like, flag? It's like, what state is that?
The state of bisexuality.
Okay. Oh, dang it. I accidentally closed the... There we go. I picked both flavors. Which team are you batting for? That was always the weirdest, like, sports reference. I didn't know.
Yeah, I wish I've gotten that a couple of times. I've always wished that I had the mentality to respond. I'm queer. I don't do sports. Thank you.
They're batting for the other team. It's like, I think it's supposed to be a hit off of like swing the other way.
Yeah,
but like the other team doesn't swing the other way. It's not a mirrored team. They're all doing the same thing. So weird. Maybe there might be some other connotations in there that I just now thought of that I'll maybe not bring up on there, but whatever.
Doesn't matter. Everybody just wants to.
Everyone's
fuck
the same,
and
yeah.
or not fuck.
And both teams have the exact same types of players. Like, it doesn't make
Yes.
any sense. It's a bad analogy.
Yes.
That's all I'm getting at.
It's terrible.
There's a guy who reviews online recipes. He always acts shocked when your combo meat, cheese, carbs, and different ratios taste good, which is like, duh. Yeah, man. Just go watch Epic Mealtime. Just add bacon to everything. It's fine. Deep fry it, batter it, deep fry it, bacon. Good. We were talking yesterday about sushi. They're like, what's your favorite type of sushi? And I was like, let me think about this. I normally order a lot of like Philly rolls, which is just sour cream and salmon. But then I was thinking about it, I'm like, there's that, and then like deep fried with eel on top. And then I'm like, oh, and there's also this. I'm like, well, no, that's deep fried too. And I was like, shit, I really like deep fried sushi. Like, there's a lot of really good deep fried sushi out there.
Interesting. I kind of don't like deep fried sushi.
Animators, I'm glad you can finally watch us at work. I'm sorry that our conversation started off in a strange place.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look, our conversations usually start off in a weird place.
That's true.
And you know what? Enough of the time, it's my fault that I'm willing to take credit for it this time.
That's fair. I'll graciously allow you to do that without contention.
Yeah, it's partially your fault for allowing me to speak here, but you know.
That's fair too. Deep fried sushi covered in cheese is probably the most scarring thing I've ever heard of, though. It's good.
Don't knock it till you try it, and it's not covered in cheese; it's stuffed with cream cheese.
Yep. I love eel. It is delicious. Probably really bad for me now that I think about it, though.
Probably. I've only ever had fake eel, which I really enjoyed.
I don't think I've ever had fake eel. I'm gonna start over.
I mean, it's basically mushroom umami smothered in infinite soy. So
it might be that I just really like eel sauce, but I don't know. I decided the other day, because like with my salt thing, trying to eat less salt, I was just gonna start making all of my sauces. I'm like, can I make a katsu? I've never tried that before. Yes, katsu is super easy. It's essentially just ketchup. And I was like, well, that hurts. Hurts my heart. Chicken katsu is amazing. I've been following the channel. It usually saw it starts here. Yeah. So also I learned people like the cottage cheese. Super disgusting, but just cheesy yogurt.
Kind of.
They think cottage cheese is super disgusting, but it's just cheesy yogurt. Yeah, kind of. I like cottage cheese. Like, put pepper on it, you're good.
It is curds and whey. It's just cheese that hasn't had the whey drained off. It's very young cheese that hasn't had the whey drained off. And it tastes fine. Yeah.
So let's see. Careful with the X's. Something I don't like about art is that they all are some styles that everyone tries to copy, and that one TikTok art style is kind of cartoony and all looks the same. There's a handful of different prominent styles right now, and like that's part of the problem with the AI art thing is like all of it looks the same. Like,
yes.
It's so bad. But I mean, it's good. It looks really good because it's based off of like some good stuff. But if all you're trying to do is copy a style, then that's one type of art. And so someone said something to me. It might have just been a weird like TikTok thing, anyways. But so they said to me is wrong. But they essentially were saying like, there's two ways to get popular on social media, and it's either copying the exact style of what is popular and just kind of like going into that flow, which a lot of people do, and that's why it's like that. Or really defining yourself as something so unique that it pops out. And both of those are viable options for getting famous, and that's kind of how that's true for all art, which is why like
Yes.
fan art is so popular.
Yes. That has also like always been how you get really popular as an artist. That it's not new. It's not unique to TikTok.
Correct.
That's art history.
So, and that's a. Oh, oops, this is a guy. What am I doing? There's another thought about that with like a lot of people will be like, oh, don't draw anime. That's not great. It's like, well, if you want to draw anime, then learn how to draw anime. Like, yeah, like that's totally legitimate, because people draw it. Like, people will hire you to draw it. That's important. So there's two different thoughts on it, of like having to have your own style is like having your own style is nice, but it depends on what you're trying to do. So, because even like having your own style, if you can recreate, Disney, if you get hired at Disney, they're not going to want your style. They're going to want you to be able to recreate Disney. So
Well, that is, we've had this conversation before. That's how you
times.
get a job in any studio. You prove to them that you can consistently copy what they're doing, so that they can use you.
How do I make this druid? How do I make Taffy look cool? I'm gonna go bug. I'm gonna go bug feet. I got a little distracted. Now I kind of want to start over again, so I might do that. Go for authentic, well, as authentic as I can get sushi. Yeah, Oliver, there's a really nice little place downtown where like this old guy will basically make one thing of rice, and then when he runs out of rice, he closes the shop. So it's like you have to go early to eat there. It's amazing. But then there's also just like cheap shit sushi, and I love that too. So those are two different things in my mind.
Yeah, I kind of love those restaurants where the person who runs it is like, I'm not going to care about time, really. I'm just like, I'm going to make what I'm going to make, and that's what it's going to be, and anybody who eats here is going to fucking love it.
Yep.
Like,
they're
kind of hard to find, but if you can find a place like that, it's usually amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and careful with the axe. I'm gonna say something that I hope you don't take that I'm trying to be offensive. I'm not, and I'm not trying to call you out as you've done anything wrong. But if it's making you unhappy, don't look at it. That's the best thing. That's the best advice I can give. Is like, yeah, that's true. There's a lot of styles out there that are just annoying, and unfortunately, you're feeding into the algorithm. So all I can give you is find artists that you do love and support the hell out of them until your feed only shows you that. Because that's the best. Because I don't want to be like, I don't want to hear you complaining about it. Because like, no, I get it, but I also don't want to hear you complaining. It's a bummer. It's a bummer, and it's not something I can fix. And the best thing we can do is just support the artists that you do like, and just support the hell out. That's the best you can do.
Yeah, that's like the people who complain the most on YouTube, and I'm not saying that this is you, but like it's a lesson we all can learn from the people who troll stuff that they despise. Like the lesson is specifically, the more you interact with something on YouTube, the more the algorithm thinks you want to interact with it. So if you see something that you don't like you can manipulate the algorithm to feed you only what you like. It takes a little bit of work and a little bit of time, but you can do it. I have managed to cut out several political channels that I don't ever want to see again.
Yep.
And I'm grateful for that, and you can do the same.
There's a meta. Yeah, exactly. People basically found the meta for the algorithm, which, like, it's the same thing with pop music. It's the same thing. It's like a lot of pop songs really aren't great. But they're catchy. Like they fit into the algorithm that just make our little monkey brains go boop boop yeah. And
well, I mean, they're designed to be catchy. They're not designed to be deep or interesting.
Just make what's the I love the Simpsons whenever it's the little like monkey with the symbol, just like, like this is what I like. This is my thing. It's great. My art teacher, former marble artist, says scribbling is your best friend. Don't be precious. Yeah, just
100% agree.
Doodle doodle doodle. Disney is bonkers. I met a former Disney Imagineer. He had a lot of Disney style art. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I'm gonna start over again. I gotta get into the groove. I should have drawn a better rugby, but today's whatever. So when I say better, I mean like I feel like that sketch was a good sketch, but I could have drawn a more intentful rugby. I want to draw a really cool little fairy, so probably just gonna do a bust instead.
That's probably smart. Fairies are kind of difficult because you want
them to be tiny, and then you can't put any detail into them.
Exactly. There's a thing that we do pretty much subconsciously, and by we, I'm saying the universal artist. I don't think everybody has this problem, but most people I know who draw have this problem where if you want to draw something, you want it to you need it to read as the thing it's supposed to read as, which means you need scale. You need it to feel like it's either big enough or small enough. And so when I'm doing a fairy, I always do exactly what you just said. Draw it too small and never get any of the detail I want out of it.
Yep. I have a bit of love-hate relationship with looking at art online since I get inspiration and stuff, but also I feel like I'm not good as them, and so I get discouraged. That's fair too. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I feel that. I feel that all the time. Like you're never gonna get rid of that because it's kind of a mindset. Thing I have to tell myself all the time is that is other people's accomplishments don't belittle your own.
Yes.
Like someone else can be really good at art. That doesn't mean you're bad at art.
Yeah. Welcome to the mindset of being an artist. If you have that mindset, you are basically officially an artist. And it's all part and parcel of the creative process. You will fight it forever, and congratulations, you're now a toxic perfectionist just like me. Well, I was gonna say the way to not be toxic about it is just keep trying, you know? Like I think there's a couple of strategies.
Yeah. I want to be a real artist. I think that's an interesting statement to say. Like, if you have that, you're a real artist. I think you're a real artist if you keep trying to do art. Which, like, there's definitely times when you just don't feel like doing it, but if that urge to keep doing art is there, then that makes you an artist, regardless of whether or not you actually finish anything. Intent, people. Don't let yourself get discouraged. Just make art. And that's tough. I get that. It's tough. Keep trying. I say as it's taken me a week to make a YouTube short video. I'm pretty happy with it now, but it took me way too long.
Yeah, I've been working on one speed paint for the YouTube thing I'm trying to get started on doing that I've talked about, and I have gotten nowhere. So
yeah, it happens. Art can take a long time.
It can. I'm specifically trying to be better about being fast and not precious about it, because I was mostly joking, but I really do get very toxic perfectionist about everything that I draw, and so I drawing here with you. It is really, really helpful for me, actually, because as slow as I am compared to you, I'm still finishing things here, which is really big and really important.
I constantly, at the end of the day, like when I start posting stuff, it's like, man, I should have spent 3 more hours on that sketch. That's what I feel like all the time. It's like, no, I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to get to anybody's pictures if I spent that long on everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like I want to spend more time on everything. But I think I've gotten a lot. I've got to the point where I'm not jealous of better artists. I'm like, wow, I'm psyched to get to that level. Yeah, that's a good way to be too. I think that's a great kind of way to kind of combat that feeling too, because I'll see something like Steve Sketches is amazing and I love his art. Critbit, I don't know if you guys are following Critbit on Instagram. I love their stuff so much. It's not in the style that I ever do, which is weird because like Critbit's line art is beautiful and I love it, and he paints over it and it drives me crazy. but yeah, so like it's definitely, everything is going to be a little weird sometimes, and you're going to feel maybe not inadequate, but just like, damn, I'm never going to be that good. And it's like, just have fun with what you're doing and don't worry about that so much, and just try to always be better. And that's just a great mentality to have. It's just, even when you think you're doing really good, like, how can you keep improving it? And eventually someone will tell you that I'm never going to be as good as you, and you're like, that's weird.
Yeah, oh, it's super weird when you hit that point.
Mm-hmm. A lot of things. Sorry, go ahead.
I hit that point in college, and it was the first time I had ever like hit that point where people were coming to ask me how to improve, and I was like, what the fuck is happening here? I'm not a trendsetter. I have never been cool in my life. What is happening? But yeah, like you will inevitably get there if you keep practicing, if you keep identifying where you're falling short and working on it.
Don't have time to be an artist. I'm too focused on being good at science to be able to.
I mean, that's fair.
That's fair.
And like,
I was
science
say,
is a creative field, so you should never feel like
yeah,
you're not being creative or interesting, or that you're any less talented than somebody who does art. Or
there's a. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Dang it.
Sorry.
No, I lost. Hold on, maybe I can find it again. I don't have time to be an artist. Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of the stuff that I've realized, especially like looking back at my old videos and stuff, my old art, is just how much time I put into it. Like, I'm not good at art. It's like, well, how long did you spend on this? It's like, I don't know, like 30 minutes. It's like, cool, spend 7 hours on it, and then come back and we'll talk. Like I still, one of my friends, he got a job at Bungie a little while back, and I was just like, and he's good at what he does, but I was talking to him about it. I'm like, you only have like 3 pieces in your portfolio. He's like, yeah, well, that one took me 85 hours, and I was like, okay. And that's the point. Like, that's the point I'm trying to get across is sometimes, like, Michelangelo, I'll never be as good as Michelangelo. He spent 4 years and like 8 people doing some of his pieces. So just like, it's all relative, and it's all depending on what you want. Because like, if you had asked like Rembrandt to draw a Ninja Turtle, like, that's not art. It's like, well, somebody enjoys it, and that's all that really matters. So you can draw anime and draw really good anime. There's a difference between good and bad anime, though. So think about that. Yeah. Spend the time on it. Take your time. Don't worry about being fast.
Figure out your own methodology. Don't worry about style. Just worry about your idea, like how you want.
Draw what you love. Try to improve it.
Yeah. Do what you want to do, and everything else will fall into place. If you really want to do that, then try to figure out how to do it.
That was my thing with Critbit. Like, I love Critbit's art, and I want my line art style, like my line weights and stuff, to be as good as them. And so like, I constantly look at their stuff, but the final pieces, it's just like, I just don't want to do that type of art. Like, it's so beautiful and great, but I don't want it. So I'm not trying to copy their style.
Like that really is how you develop style, is like, you take bits and pieces from everybody else's shit, like, and try to reverse engineer it. And sometimes you're successful and sometimes you're not. And sometimes you find new things that kind of like define your style. And sometimes you straight up copy somebody else's methodology.
Yep.
But like, it's all of that is okay as long as you're mixing it all together. You develop a unique style.
Something I noticed too when I was in college, I was doing a lot of 3D art, and I only sketched during math classes and stuff. So like, I wasn't really improving. Like, for the 6 years that I was in art college, I wasn't improving my sketches. I was just getting good at like 3D modeling and sculpting and some other things, but like I really wasn't practicing. I wasn't practicing sketching at all. So that took a while. It took a while for me to get back into that. So yeah, you can take lots of time off.
Yeah. I took almost 10 years off drawing because I got real sick and couldn't process my my brain couldn't work out how to work on any art and not like self-destruct.
Yeah, and sometimes it does. It just changes your methodology of what you want to do and how you have to do things. And really good at science, despite how people are better than me at other things. I'm better than them at some things. Just have to live with that. Yeah, like that's it shouldn't be a competition. It should never be a competition. So stop trying to compare yourself to other people. Period, and just
the only person you should ever compare yourself to is you yesterday.
Yep, you from yesterday.
And not literally you from yesterday. It's more like you from like last month. Yep. Really.
For what difference? Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people that are scientists or are actually I know a handful of doctors. That's a better way to say it. That are like super creative in different ways. I really want to make all of these fake creatures girls for some reason. Fairies need boobs. That's all I'm saying. Which I guess I could still. I'm not sure if that's what the suggested person wanted. So we'll do something a little different. Yeah, just because you're good at science doesn't mean you can't do something artistic. Like that's just not true.
yeah. It really is all problem solving. It is all creative, like a creative pursuit. You can apply the scientific method to teach yourself how to draw.
Yep. And there's a level of like this. I think the thing with, especially with the doctors I know, like their technical mindsets, give them a good hand up of like knowing how to break down a process. So it's like they want to draw something, create something, or develop something. It's really easy for them to like compartmentalize all of the steps and then do it. Whereas me, I just kind of need to throw shit at a board. That also helps me in certain science aspects because it's like if a process is not working, you need to be able to be flexible and go around it. So like that's what I'm saying. You can't just say I'm good at X, so I'm bad at everything else, or I'm not going to spend time on everything else. It really is you are good at what you want to spend your time with, and like the level of goodness is subjective. So
100%. Like the thing that has helped me out probably the most with drawing and sculpture, which is really my forte, my specialty. The thing that helped me out the most was actually learning how to design and render plans for building furniture. Because understanding like the order of operations for machining, that really helped me out. So a lot of times it will take me a couple of minutes before I'm willing to start drawing anything because I'm working at the order of operations in my head before I get going.
Honestly, I think that's probably one of my I want to say skill sets, but like that's something I excel at.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what I'm doing, like that's where I excel is just like, which probably is from like 20 years of working in a kitchen. Because if you get 20 things on an order line, it's like, okay, what are all the pieces that I have to make and what happens first? So like, I would bet that's what that comes from. That's why I did okay in the kitchen for so long. But yeah, that's a really good skill to have. And if you can find that level of like being able to, that's really what will make someone successful is like knowing what they need to get done and then being able to parse it out. And a lot of people struggle with that. And I was like, planners are really good, and like actually having visual maps can help you with that kind of stuff. But I think that's also true with art, because you can run into roadblocks of like, oops, I started painting too soon. Oops, I started a new layer too soon. I used to do that all the time. So it's weird how you pull things from different places to like make art better. Because I think a lot of that was probably from being in the kitchen for so long.
when I'm saying that science is like all problem solving and it's really all the same, I really do mean that. In college, I took basically every class I could possibly take just to learn as much shit as possible, and that included a creative writing class, which I happened to be taking at the exact same time as I was taking like a 2D design and like beginning drawing class. And like I realized very quickly that all of the steps that I was getting taught about what what contributes to good design, or like how to figure out composition, and like how to manipulate the eye, like all of that basically translated exactly the same into creative writing. Like it's slightly different tools, but it's like it's really is all about figuring out how to communicate your intent to your audience, and how to solve problems. So it all always breaks down to communication,
Critical
and problem
thinking.
solving. Yeah. Communication, problem solving, critical thinking. So if you can do any of those in any discipline, then you can figure out how to draw.
Yep, we're gonna change the subject because now I feel like we're just making excuses. So.
Okay.
But no, I like what you said. Sorry, I'm just gonna stop our conversation there and try to move on.
Yeah, that's pretty much the ultimate end of that point for me anyway. So that's a good place.
Still have to watch John Wick 4 though, and Reservoir Dogs and Joker. What? Whoa, I missed something. When in doubt, make thumbnails. That's a good example. Yeah.
I love and hate thumbnailing.
Yep. Redline is a film, so is Speed Racer. A little bit older though. Yeah.
Speed Racer.
I hate that kid. That kid just doesn't need to be in the anime. Period. Makes me so mad.
I think I've watched one episode of Speed Racer and I was like, oh, not only is this dubbed really bad, it doesn't make any sense. And who is this main character? Why are you here?
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. All right, I'm gonna roll the new ones. Here we go. 6. I'm rolling low today. A Hexblade Warforged, but their patron is an artificer radioing. How to apply upgrades. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Basically a sound cannon, but their packed weapon is stored in their body. Interesting. Guess we'll just do a warlock. Just a generic warlock? What's the color we're doing? Red?
I do like, I guess in 5e it's thunder damage, but like sonic based spells.
Yeah.
Sound based spells, they're always really fun to me. And I feel like there aren't enough of them.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be combative.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's just my opinion. But I think 5e doesn't have enough spells in general, so
that's fair. I think that's fine. I think my contention comes from this is the same thing with psychic. It's like, what really defines a sonic spell? Because in my mind, if you want to do sonic damage, like, why isn't that just a subset of force damage?
Yeah. I mean, it should be.
It should be. So it's like, you don't need sonic damage because we have force damage, but sonic spells should have an added variant of can shatter crystalline things or does damage to hardness differently, right? So really, I think it's less that there should be more sonic spells. There needs to be more spells that have additional effects than force damage, because I think otherwise it's the same. So.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I've actually had a very similar conversation with my brother while we were talking about like homebrewing TTRPGs, and ultimately we came to the conclusion that there's basically too many damage types, and
Right.
maybe a lot of them overlap in ways that they don't need to.
Yeah, because that's really the problem when you do that is as soon as you say, oh, this spell does sonic damage, it's like now you have to have things that are resistance to sonic damage. You have to track that that's sonic damage.
Yep.
It's from a mechanical standpoint, it's just unnecessary. Same thing with psychic. Like, what are psychic spells? Well, they're like cantrips. It's like we have cantrips. Like, okay, well, I want to be able to like move something with my mind, telekinesis. Like, I want to do it at a cantrip level. It's like, cool. Then you're a sorcerer that specializes in this, and you can just like you can use a selected spell or selected spells like cantrips. Let's do that instead of completely adding in another thing where people have to have resistances to it. They have to have bonuses to it, weaknesses to it. It's like there's levels of complexity that can be added to the game, and it's just an amount of work that sometimes isn't worth the one addition of something. So the less you can have singular specified things and the more you can fit something into a mechanic, the easier it is to do that kind of stuff. But people will it's called bloat.
Yes.
Yeah, and it happens.
And it becomes problematic.
It becomes problematic, yeah. But people are like, oh, it'd be really cool if this did this. Thunder damage is sonic damage, right? Yeah, thunder damage is also force damage, or is it lightning damage? Or like that's the complexity of it, right? So
yeah. I think in Pathfinder they don't actually have force damage. It's all considered bludgeoning.
Yeah. You take
which I like.
And
Yeah,
that goes the other way,
reduced
which is
bloat.
great, because then if you're resistant to bludgeoning damage, it's like, oh yeah, I guess I'm more resistance to this too, versus having to add a whole nother thing. D&D needs less damage to go burst spells and more spells with weird effects like D&D 2nd edition.
I'm rolling 20.
20.
If we still have that many.
Yep. Kobold Wizard Blade Singer, using a curved glass blade. Mesoamerican style clothing, sheer robes on top, tattoos. Be creative, have fun.
Okay.
Kobold Wizard Blade Singer. Strangest one is Psychic. Got rid of Psionics, but kept Psychic damage. Yeah, because like Psychic damage is just like brain damage.
Yeah.
like it's just so specific. So I don't know. I like psychic damage. I think psychic damage is interesting. Just making like psychic spells. It's like, how is it different from a spell? Just because of the mechanics of the game. That's all that you have to define to really make a spell kick. Because like, if you're saying that your spells don't come from Mystra, they come from your brain, great. I bet it makes you tired to use a really powerful brain spell. Use your spell slots. Just do it. Like, it's fine. Just, it's flavor. I create fire with my mind. It's like, yeah, I do too. It's called Bonfire, but I'm a fighter. So, mechanically, they are the same. That's my whole argument. Mechanically, they are the same because it's a video game. I think the designers viewed force damage as directed force, not specific energy type. Sonic's is vibration. Yeah, and that's an interesting way to do it. But that's what I'm saying with. So sonic damage, if it's just a vibration, should have a whole bunch of, like most things should be immune to that. And so
yeah,
then
and like
that's a
it's
complexity
not...
you have to add in. Like, so now all humans are good against some vibrations. Like, how much vibrations is it? Is it vibration frequency? Like, versus a spell, instead of doing sonic damage, does, it does make sense to do it both ways. That's what I'm going to say. So like,
yeah,
you can either say that it does sonic damage, and then you have to specify when creatures are weak to sonic, or you can have it do force damage and specify that a type of creatures is weak to it, right? Like, all of those are legitimate. It's just a matter of where you want it to be effective and not. I cast Meme for 40 psychic damage, yeah.
Was there a color on this kobold?
Nope, I don't think so. Whenever he plays the pipe organ, all vampires look at him confused, and he dresses in full white tie when he performs. Vampires? Oh, this is the new character, right? D&D designers are not most logical people in the world that are best make homebrew out of what they don't like. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think that's the intent.
Oh, I need to have to remember how I do kobold anatomy.
Why did I draw the head first? Let's draw the body first. Cool, vampire. Couldn't sonic spells heal as well, like vibration therapy? I mean, it's just, not directly. Because that's like saying a jackhammer can heal you because of vibrational therapy, right?
Yeah, or a sonic boom can fix your hearing problems.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that is kind of specifically what I mean when I say that I want more thunder or sonic spells. Basically, I want detonations. I want C4 explosions, not gasoline explosions.
That's always the weird question with fireball, right? Is fireball an explosion or is it fire?
Well, it deals fire damage, so it's
not an explosion then.
Exactly.
Which is weird. But so that's the point of where you have to just make a call for the game mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Thematically, you could say it's a burst of flame, but really you're just making a big area full of fire.
Yeah. It's a really big version of what happened when I was firing a raccoon kiln once, and the methane built up and caused a little bit of a puff of fire.
Would you say that was an explosion?
It didn't deal any damage, so no, I would call it a conflagration.
Sure.
No, I think Fireball is a Hollywood-esque gasoline explosion.
That's an explosion to me.
Yes, but it doesn't deal a lot of pressure. It doesn't cause a large pressure wave. It moves slow enough that it doesn't create a sonic boom.
Okay.
Whereas higher explosives like C4, they don't burn a lot. They don't create a lot of fire. But yeah, they cause a pressure wave in the air that is really damaging, especially like the closer you are.
How does he transport the organ around? Da-na-na-na. Got it. Do vampires know that song? Is that song canon in your universe? Yeah. I do hate how some D&D players who only play 5e think homebrew is in its entirety is bad, like they only use official content and trash talk about it. Yeah, like there's a lot of the like there's a big chunk of the internet that loves that. Like there's a lot of Reddit posts. And I don't know if it's because the DMs aren't versed with homebrew, like they just let people do whatever they want with it, or if it's because the players are just trying to be kind of toxic and trolly to begin with. But I generally don't have
column A, a little bit column E.
Yeah, probably. Like, it's probably not one thing, you know. Mechanics doesn't matter. Just do what you want, people. Yeah, just have fun. Like that's at the end of the day. If everybody's having fun, you're good. And I think a lot of those problems stem from people trying to make themselves have fun and don't care about the other players. So do what you think will be most fun for everybody, not for yourself. Give that a try. Corvus, welcome in, by the way. It's heat, not force. TNT C4 make reverberations instead of heat. Yay. Never met someone like that, so I wouldn't say they're very common. Do you know someone like that? We got a couple. There's a... I know
a player who always has to have the last word, but other than that, no.
I was gonna say, is that me?
No.
We had Goldtooth, who I don't want to call out as like saying that they're exactly like that, but they played Adventure League, and there were a lot of times when it felt like what Goldtooth wanted to do wasn't acceptable in Adventure League, and it's like, well, maybe Adventure League's not right for you. Sounds like you want to do some homebrew stuff, so I think it's definitely worth finding the right table to play at.
Yeah. And I think Goldtooth did eventually get a more homebrew game started.
I think they're enjoying that a lot more too.
Good.
I hope.
I haven't had an opportunity to talk to him recently, so I don't know for sure.
They said RoboCop, so I'm trying to like make a RoboCop Warforged. I want pho. I think pho would be a good thing to make this weekend. Pho's amazing.
Pho is amazing.
I like to think that an explosion that would make a funny noise. Every single vampire knows that song. Gotcha. What is currently being drawn? A Sonic-based Warforged and a something. Kobold.
A Kobold Blade Singer wizard based on Mesoamerican sort of clothing. Or yeah, with Mesoamerican style clothing and a glass sword. I'm actually not super familiar with the Blade Singer.
Corvus.
Are they just a wizard that can summon swords?
I think so, yeah. It's like a pseudo class for the
For the Magus?
It's the Magus, yeah. It's a subclass that makes them Magus-esque. But
you basically it makes you a more tanky type of wizard.
So I think they use like abjuration magic. Is that what it is?
No, they're just they use their intelligence and add it to their They combine with their dexterity with their AC.
Oh, I thought they added their int to their attack.
They can, I think, later on.
Okay. Because like the two things, I think I played a Blade Singer once, and I didn't do very far. But like the thing I did every round was like cast shield on myself and then stab somebody. It's like here we go.
Do they get a spell that lets them summon a bunch of swords?
No.
Copies? No? Okay.
No.
Well, that's a Pathfinder thing.
What's the D&D has it might be Blade Storm. Wall of Knives? That is the most underwhelming spell I think that I've ever played. It might not even be Wall of Knives. But I was trying to play with Shiva, my juggler. And it makes daggers in one square, and that's it. It's just like that square is now sucky.
Rain of Knives or Rain of Daggers or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Like you can't move it. It does like a d6 damage, and it's just like, this is okay.
Welcome to wall spells.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there is is it a sword wall or blade ward?
Maybe that's what it is.
That is kind of a little bit better.
Maybe I just need a higher level spell.
Because I know there's like Rain of Daggers. Or
Cloud of Knives, yes. Cloud of Daggers? God, that's
something like that. It's basically kind of like rains daggers down on a little area, but it doesn't do much.
It doesn't do much of anything. I met a bunch of them, mostly in real life meetups. Yeah, Adventure League is weird. Yeah, Adventure League makes sense because the reason the rules are so strict is because you can pick up and go. Like, that's the intent of it, is that if you don't know the players, if you don't know the DM, the rules are the rules. And so if you have to go to a new town, you can just go in and, you know, the setting's the setting. And so, like, that makes total sense, but, like, that's not how I enjoy the game. I really like playing around with it. And so there's just two different things. Like, I think both are fine, but they are different. They are different, and that's what people need to realize, that you can have two things can be good. You just don't have to enjoy both of them.
Adventure League is like Friday Night Magic, basically,
Yeah.
for D&D.
Yep. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what Adventure League is. When was the piano invented in the 1700s? When do you think the pipe organ was invented?
Pipe organs
Man, I want to say like
have their origins with Roman instruments.
Yeah,
Water organs.
I think the actual pipe
And-
organs would have been cathedrals, and that would have been like 600. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right or not.
The oldest one is from that's surviving that still works is like from the early 1500s.
Okay, so maybe I'm going too far back.
Well, they don't survive. They often get replaced.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's kind of
Corvus is saying that our current oldest extant surviving piece is 1500s.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, the original ones were the sizes of buildings. Like, that was the whole
Yeah.
point. You had to have people actually running the bellows, like, by hand. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Lots
And
of
like,
insane stuff.
but it's really easy to assume that a pipe organ is more complex than a piano. It's not.
Oh yeah, no, pianos are amazing because of their mechanical engineering. Like,
Yeah.
pianos are hyper tensioned pieces of machinery compacted.
yes.
That's the important thing, is like, for the amount of sound and strength that is required for them to be as small as they are is the feat. Like, that's the feat. Because a piano is really just a big harp, but harps aren't loud.
Yes.
Harps are not loud at all.
Yeah. It's a huge.
Hammer
Usually, I don't know what it was originally, but currently usually cast iron harp, strung under super high tension, put in a sound box.
and
Yeah, they're-
organs are supersized accordions, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So in order to have a working pipe organ, all you really need is the technology for a bunch of pipes, and it doesn't matter what they're made out of. They just have to be a bunch of pipes that you can tune, and a bellows. That's all you need.
Oops.
The earliest
I just
Roman
opened After
ones
Effects.
were
Not on purpose. Hold on. Everything might take a poop.
okay. Because I know the earliest Roman ones were about late Roman period, and they were made with there were water pipes. Like, there was a basin of water that someone would be pumping air into
Mm-hmm,
that would cause it to force air through the pipes.
I thought the water pumped a wheel.
No, I mean maybe eventually that was a thing, but I know because they were pretty small organs, the ones I'm referring to.
Okay.
They were a lot of times at bathhouses.
Cloud of Daggers, good for blocking a breach or an area denial. Like, you'd think so, but I've never met anybody that wasn't fine just walking through it. That's the problem with Cloud of Daggers. Haha. It's like, okay. Maybe, I think it might just be too low of a level spell is the problem. Like, the area's not big enough. You can block a door with it, but even then, it's like, I'm just gonna walk through it because the DC is 15 to not take a D4 of damage. It's like, yeah, that's not great. Glass harmonicas, it's good. Pipe organ was invented in the 3rd
harmonica
century.
is really complicated, actually.
Yeah.
Glass
Wolf
harmonica
Word.
was invented by What's his name?
Ben Franklin?
Ben Franklin, yes.
Debatable.
Yes and no. He improved the design of it.
Warforged Bard, who's a walking pipe organ. I think we both, Druid and I, have both drawn that on this stream. Like,
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. At one point in time.
Warforged bards being their instruments is well established precedent.
Pipe organ is a woodwind instrument, and that annoys me just a little bit. There you go.
Does it not annoy you that saxophones are always made out of brass and they're also woodwinds? Or
They have a reed.
Yep.
well, what about flutes? Flutes are usually made out of stainless steel right now,
That's true.
and they have no wooden parts, but are also considered woodwinds, just because they can be made out of wood.
Traditionally, they were made out of wood.
Yeah.
Man. I hated being in band.
I did too. If I could go back, I would not do it again.
I think I still would, because the alternative would have been like choir, and I hate choir more. So
I've got a really good singing voice, so I think, or at least that's what I was told in church choir as a kid. So I think I probably would have been done better in choir.
I don't want to talk about school. Trying to keep it upbeat today. First medieval church music instrument in Europe was a giant two-hand hurdy-gurdy. Interesting.
That makes sense to me.
Lot of Daggers does 44 slashing damage, no saves, it scales up with level. What? I'll have to look this up.
Maybe you were just doing it wrong.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I will check that. Maybe she was way more powerful than I give her credit for.
Maybe you're the problem.
Yeah, the problem.
Thank God.
Okay. You know what? If I'm doing this kobold Mesoamerican style, I think I probably need to pull some feathered serpent imagery.
Waddles?
Yeah. Let's cowaddle up this little guy.
Axolotl kobold, that's also cowaddle.
Well, I don't even have the spell anymore, so yeah, I must have gotten rid of it.
Because I know Jester once used a spell like that, but I can't remember what. It wasn't Cloud Daggers or whatever, but I can't remember what it was. It basically made a big wall of whirling buzzsaws.
I feel like Merle High Church also used that in season 1 of the Adventure Zone.
Maybe.
Spinning daggers.
It has
and
been a
keep
long
free.
time since I've listened to the Mackle Boys, though, so I'm not 100% sure on that.
The Mackle.
Sweet Jeebus, yeah, it's a 44. That's awesome. It's still only 5 foot cube, but I'll take 44.
That's pretty good for a level 1 spell.
Yeah,
Level
I
2
think
spell.
I think the spell Jester used is called Blade Barrier. It's a 6th level evocation spell.
Okay.
Yep.
Concentration up to 10 minutes. Cleric spell. You create a vertical wall of whirling razor-sharp blades made of magical energy. The wall appears within range and lasts for the duration. Range 90 feet. One action. Let's see. You can make a straight wall up to 100 feet long, 20 feet high, and 5 feet thick, or a ringed wall up to 60 feet in diameter, 20 feet high, and 5 feet thick.
I'm glad
Wall
they started
provides-
posting
Go
that.
ahead.
No, just I think telling you what it can be as a ring is good, because when we used to play back in the day, It was always like, I'm gonna use this wall, but I'm gonna do it in a ring on top of the guy. And it's just like,
You
whatever.
can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just draw whatever? It's like, I guess, go for it. I don't care.
I still think first edition Pathfinder's wording is generally better, where like it specifically states that you can draw a line and you can connect the line in order to make a ring, but like it's also specifically states that because it's a wall spell, you can't drop it on top of a creature. It has to, you can set it up as a wall, but it can't interact with a creature when you first cast it.
Interesting.
If I'm remembering correctly. Anyway,
But I want to drop walls on people.
when a creature enters the wall's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a fail save, the creature takes 6d10 slashing damage. On a successful save, they take half as much.
10, okay.
I mean, it's a 6th level spell. 6d10 is
I was thinking maybe it was not an okay spell. I couldn't remember.
I think the problem Jester had with this is she cast it indoors
Yeah.
in a boat where everyone was standing.
Yep.
It's fine. She was the carpenter. She could fix damage.
Not Feather Serpent, use Telek imagery of the Serpent Rain God.
What's that?
I don't know. I don't know who
Use
Telek is.
Warlock? Oh, okay. I can do that. Yeah, I was looking at Quetzalcoatl on Teotihuacan. No idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But like, Ali Briggs did this really, really fucking awesome dragon once. Like, it looked like its muzzle was carved out of stone, and I was like, ooh, this is a good opportunity to do that.
I love her stuff.
So good. I have a healthy amount of jealousy for her art skills. Especially her painting.
I almost went to Emerald City to see her, just to go check out her stuff, but then I didn't. And then when she got back on Twitch, she's like, we got so sick from being at the con. I was like, I'm glad I didn't go.
Oh.
Don't want to catch the con funk.
Yeah. Ooh. Warlock is fun.
With a paper crown.
I should really watch my posture today.
Posture check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I might gwart and beef up this Tlaloc kobold a little bit, and I definitely got to change the face and horns. This I got to be careful. I'm going to spend the entire rest of the stream doing it, drawing this.
Yeah.
Which is maybe okay, but I got excited about this prompt now.
I hate this hand. I really want him to have you like. I want to give like a really good RoboCop pose with this. I essentially just drawn RoboCop at this point. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. apparently don't remember what hands look like now. Yes, Cube Cat? What's up? It's raining today. Pixel is just
Hallelujah.
burrowed in the couch.
I wish it was raining here.
It rained here yesterday, and look, Utah is not used to being this humid.
I'm so sorry.
It's, I mean, like, it's fine. It's good. We need the moisture, but
Don't want the humidity that comes with that moisture.
I do actually. I don't want the mildew that comes with the humidity that comes with the moisture.
Mm.
My allergies have been bad. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not
We had
gonna
a
draw this
rainstorm.
hand.
It stirred up something. My allergies are bad.
I'm struggling with drawing this hand, so I'm just not gonna.
That's fair.
Just give him a cannon.
Just a big arm cannon.
Yep, use that sonic booms.
Is your thought of drawing a barbarian bard like Viking Scald comes to mind? I mean, we've drawn a few, I think. Got a few different barbarian bards in here from time to time.
I really hope second edition Pathfinder makes a Scald soon.
Have they not? That's interesting.
Nope. They have not added the Scald yet. Scald was really fun in first edition. For anybody who doesn't know, Pathfinder Scald was a like a conglomeration class. It mixed aspects of both the bard and the barbarian. So you could basically be a rage barbarian who got spells and powers when you raged. It was cool.
Aru.
And thematically a lot of fun.
What's up, Skip Cat? What can I do for you? You need pets or do you want tuna fish? I'm gonna go see what the Skip Cat
probably.
wants. And then I'm gonna roll. We'll be right back, everybody. Hold on.
Okay.
Grim Panda. If you have not suggested a character, you can suggest a character, and we'll put it on the list. But yeah.
So I feel like I have put into the universe Aztec themed characters now.
We've run into them a couple of times. I remember a like an Aztec themed lizard folk that I did last year. That was a lot of fun. I think I've got it saved as one of my favorites actually. Let's see, I don't quite like that. I think I'm gonna narrow this snoot just a bit.
So when we're done with the stream today, Druid, I have a question to ask you. So
Okay.
about tomorrow.
Okay.
So I don't want to bore people about my first ever D&D or Pathfinder experience DMing.
I'm excited for it.
I am absolutely sickened by it. I think I lost sleep last night because of it.
Oh no.
I was like, oh no, am I gonna like chicken out? I don't want to.
I hope you
Wait.
don't. I don't get many opportunities to play, but if you like,
Yeah.
if you need to, take care
I
of
don't-
yourself, right?
I don't want to. I woke up like at 12 today, which is really rare for me. And it's like, oh god, am I really this worried about jamming?
It's like it's a little nerve-wracking, right?
Yeah.
I was really nervous my first time DMing as well. I think I need to look up that dragon piece that I was talking about, see if I can find it for reference.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. What do we got here?
Chat continues
losing-
without us,
Gotcha.
and I'm looking at Allie's stuff, looking for reference and inspiration.
Lightning, Genasi, Rogue. We're gonna go with that one. Put it on the list. You only get one.
That used to be a thing. Storm of Genasi's.
Should regionally update source books for 5e? I don't know. I haven't heard about them, whether or not they're doing anything like that. I know they removed some books, but not a lot of confidence in the current designers. Yeah, they're kind of doing some weird stuff. I watched a video yesterday about them talking about the next 10 years of 5e, and it sounds like they're storming through with whatever they're doing, and they're just gonna keep everything backwards compatible, which is what they said they were doing anyways, and they're not changing the name. So it's like, cool, whatever. I don't know what they're doing. It's my
I don't
first
think they know
one-on-one
what they're
D&D
doing.
session tomorrow, and I'm playing in a cemetery. So on one-on-one, I mean, it's just you and the DM. Is that? Gotcha.
Hey, that can be fun.
Yeah.
The
done that.
first game I ever GM'd was that. I asked my my forever GM to my then forever GM to to be a player and kind of coach
Don't
me
fall
as
off.
I like prepared a really simple one-off for them, and they helped me like understand game balance and what I'd done well and what I could probably work on, what I needed to worry about, and what I didn't. It was helpful. So Corvus, is tomorrow the first thing you have ever GM'd, or is this
Yes.
just- oh, okay.
Ever.
Nice.
Period.
Okay. Well, that explains the butterflies a little bit.
Oh yeah, no,
Yep.
that's normal.
I was
I always
telling
get, like,
Drew
super anxious.
while you were gone. I don't think I think the reason I did not sleep so well this night was because I was panicking about tomorrow.
Yeah, I will. I'll have like shitty, not vivid dreams about my campaign settings, like before I do them. Like not like, oh yeah, it's this wonderful adventure. No, it's like it's dreams about me trying to describe something. It's like, what does that guy look like? So, I rolled a 12, which is a Bogart swashbuckler and a fancy hat, and an Umber Hulk tattoo. I don't remember what a Bogart is. I'm gonna look that up. Is that like the weird frog goblin?
They're just frogs.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's totally normal to be really anxious about DMing. Like, that's 100% normal. But there's just know what they're doing. How can we? Yeah, exactly. If anybody don't want to miss this lovely curry dinner, oh, yeah, curry sounds good. I want to do curry this weekend too. Nah, I'm gonna do. I wanted to play a Warforged like TikTok from Return to Oz. I don't remember what that is.
I do.
It needs to be warmed
Nightmare
up.
Fuel.
Is that the guy on the stilts and the wheels?
No, those are just poor people.
No.
Oh god, what? Yeah, I equally remember and don't want to remember that character, so I'm kind of details are being fuzzy on me.
I'm just getting a visual image of the thing from Neverending Story 2 that basically looks like Globgrog, whatever the god deity, the four-headed god deity from Adventure Time.
Oh, okay. I wanted to play a Warforged. Yeah, I just read that. I don't see why you couldn't. I can't figure out fun in-game wind down timer that would be fun for everyone. I mean, does it have to be fun for everybody, or does it just be that you have to be wound up every so many rounds? Someone has to spend an action doing it. Essentially, I would take that as like that's a what's the Pathfinder terminology now?
An interaction.
And interact.
No. When you build a character, you can take purposeful faults.
Detriment.
Yeah, you basically take a detriment, and it gives you like an extra feat or something. So that's the way I would do it. Like every couple of rounds, maybe someone has to roll a d12, and then it's wound up for that many rounds, and it counts down, and then someone has to wind it up again for you to be in combat. But you get a free feat or whatever it is you want to do with your DM. I had a dream before that was horrible. Bummer, no cake. Yeah.
No
Weird.
cake. Bad.
Kind of just want to draw a chunky little frog with a hat. There's so many things I could do with this.
Like Sir Frog.
Who's Sir Frog?
Can't remember what game he was from. Like Dragon Quest or something. He was just like a frog knight.
A swooshbuckler. Uh-oh. Why is my heater turning on? It's not normal. What's going on here?
Skip cat. It would be not good if your cats had learned how to turn on the heating when they were cold.
Yeah. I got hit with like a $400 heating bill this year, and I was so pissed off.
Oof.
So pissed off. He's supposed to have an Umber Hulk tattoo. I don't know what that means. What is an Umber Hulk?
Tattoo
look like?
of an Umber Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just looked up at the bigger screen and saw the shape you've drawn. It's amazing.
Chrono Trigger, the Frog Knight. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. I couldn't remember if it was like Dragon Quest or something like that.
I know Artificer has a gun now, and I have no idea how she got it. But she's got it. I'm still sad that my players never played with the railgun I gave.
Did you tell them it was a railgun?
Oh yes, I was very clear with the things
Okay.
they could do with it.
Okay.
They just never used it.
How rude.
So I'll probably just put it in another game. Maybe I'll have Finny make it a sellable item.
Oh, so you're gonna put it in my game?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm down with that, but if you can use it against me, I can use it against you.
Goblin railgun.
I love that addition.
Umber Hulk tattoo. Umber Hulk tattoo. Random suggested you want a gun. Nice. Need some silver bullets now. That's a good way to do it. It's so weird to be like traveling in London. How far away is something that's too far away?
It's I guess farther away than you can measure.
What does an Umber Hulk look like? Giant bug gorilla?
Pretty
Yes.
pretty much, yeah.
Basically a Trox.
Yeah.
Go watch the Trox video.
Yeah, go watch the truck. Give myself inspiration for my own artwork.
I mean, hey, why not?
I do it all the time. That's what sketching is for.
That's true. Here we go. Umber Hulk tattoo. I don't know what else to do with this one. I really don't. Once I make something like super chunky and silly, I lose it. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Let's roll again. I like him, but he's down. 26 is. I said we would do that as the one. One is a demon otter. Might be another silly one coming up.
A demon otter?
A demon otter is all it says.
Oh, see, that's our fault because we talked about the Huazotl.
Yep.
This
might be a brow one.
It probably
Yep.
is.
This is my bad. Sorry, Rook.
That's all right. Oh, I forgot to do the color change. This is supposed to be purple. No, let's switch to purple. Knowles unironically looked really cool. Why did you need to clarify it as unironically? Is that a thing people think looked dope?
Nulls, I think, come with a certain amount of derision and irony when they're talked about specifically because of certain internet fetishes.
Railguns that only shoot 20 gold coins at a time. That could be a fun way to do it. There was a YouTube video out there about a custom item that was like Sword of Fortune or something. It might have been pulled off Reddit, so people might know what I'm talking about. But the idea was that it always hits, and or the damage can scale, but it costs money every time you use it. So it was an interesting way to like have players spend their unnecessary fortunes. Like if they have too much money, it's just like, here, you can basically pay to win.
That's funny.
I thought that was an interesting idea, but I was talking about it because it's like, well, how much does an arrow cost? What does an arrow use? You could essentially buy a magical weapon that has charges that just cost gold. And instead of crafting the magical item, you just had to like sacrifice gold to it every time you used it. Because you could basically find that price. You could find out what it would cost to have a weapon like that, and then just pay as you go. I don't like that as much. Too far means you'll travel forever and never reach it. Oh well, you can't clearly be seen on the horizon. It's gonna need to be on a cruise ship.
I think people would have to pay me money to be on the cruise ship.
Ooh, same. I'm not sure that. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure there's an amount of money that somebody could pay me to be on a cruise ship.
I had some friends that worked on cruise ships.
Seems like hell.
I mean, that's how you get paid to be on a cruise, is you work there. You get to go around the world. Like, they're pretty big, so a lot of them worked in restaurants is where they did, but
Yeah.
I say a lot of them. It was 2 of them. They both worked in the restaurant. They liked it. Thought it was it. Yeah, they liked it. You paid a bunch of money to go on a free trip, and you just work a normal shift like you would anywhere else. So, just on a boat.
It's not the boat that's problematic for me, it's the number of people on that boat with me.
Yeah.
I want to do something cool with these horns, and I don't know what to do exactly. I've also... This chin needs to be a little smoother, I think. A venison cylinder?
Did you say venison soldier?
Venison cylinder. I think someone was talking about deer sausage, elk sausage.
Oh. Okay.
I heard Edison cylinder, and I was like, what is that? Is that some electricity thing that I'm not aware of? That is now getting worked into whatever electricity-based thing you're doing?
Uh-oh. There we go.
I'm doing pretty good with hands today. I'm proud of myself.
That's good. Did I just figure out how to draw horns? Oh my goodness.
That would be amazing.
Draw them orthographically and then foreshorten them. Oh my gosh. I'll have to try that more.
What does that mean to draw orthographically? What is
From the side.
okay?
So I drew the way I thought the horn would look, just if it was flat,
Uh-huh.
and then I went squoosh, just squished it down. Gave myself reference.
Gotcha.
Tim Burton style striped horns. I think those are just like tube socks, aren't they?
Pretty much, yes. I honestly don't think of Tim Burton horns as horns. I see them as antenna.
Yeah. I'm scared as to why Knolls have a bad reputation online, given that their bud said something about weirdos on the internet. I have a vague idea of an odd biology of female hyenas. I mean, yeah, that's it. Like, there's not a lot of hyena Knoll art for D&D, and there's a lot of furry art for the on the internet. So when you go searching for one, you tend to find the other.
Yeah, and the like the furry hyena art tends to come with a certain amount of like romanticized brutality. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
this
So
song
just-
was on the other playlist. I'm not a fan of it. I am
It's
not
just
jamming
Rule
that.
34 nonsense. No need to worry about it.
Okay. Orthographic is like without perspective, no foreshortening or depth warping. Yeah. Yeah, so normally when you have orthographic views, it's just front, left, right, and then you have a perspective view, like what the camera would see.
So is it photography terminology or is it like animation terminology?
Sculpting for terminology.
It's
For
not
3D modeling is usually what
Okay.
they're looking at, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a viewport.
It's not something I ever ran into with or it's not something I remember running into or being taught about or with traditional processes.
Yeah, it's not a real thing. It's a digital thing.
Okay.
You can't produce it in. I mean, I guess you could, but it's
Weird.
yeah. You will never see orthographic perspectives with your eyeballs. Like you have to. It has to be on a flat 2D plane.
Well, there is a way to do basically what you just did with sculpting, which is like you basically build up a flat plane cross section
Yeah.
of the thing that you're sculpting and you use that as your armature. It's particularly effective when you're using water-based clay.
That's a good way to look at it. Like basically how the armature would be built is exactly what orthographic is. So in
Yeah.
3D modeling, if you want to like look at the topology of something from one dimension, you can look at you would have it set to that. So you wouldn't see the foreshortening of the mountains coming out at you, you would just see the flat chunks essentially. It's
Gotcha.
a really complicated way to look at it, but yeah, it's really only useful for you technically use the same thing, you just can't physically make the orthographic views the same way.
Gotcha.
Like if you cut it out on a piece of paper and then held it up to where you wanted to get the shape of, that's kind of an orthographic view.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no perspective, no foreshortening, no depth. Good. Which our eyes, that's just how we see. That's how we see the world, with two eyes. So I guess you could do it with just one eye, but they're still warping, depth warping. My first character married a Knoll shaman, then liberated the Knolls from the Nyogu and became a minor Knoll deity. Assuming your character wasn't Knoll.
Posture.
How am I going to fit this sword on here?
I guess otters have 4 fingers.
Otters? I thought they had all 5.
Well, they have. Yeah, I guess they don't really have thumbs. They have. They have 5 digits. 4 fingers and a thumb. Is what I was trying to say. I'd given him Mickey Mouse hands. It looks like she should be holding like a garrote wire. Just like.
Favorite weapon he keeps in his armpit pocket.
Mm-hmm. Use a snitch. The demon lord commands loyalty. Maybe he's cutting cheese. He might just be cutting cheese. A Zeph. I don't know what a Zeph is either. I think we've talked about this hash brown, but I can't remember.
Those are the, if I remember correctly, they're either an Eberron race or the weird wolf ill hybrid things.
Oh, gotcha.
But actually, they can correct me.
All right, let's roll some dice. Shadow elves. Psionic shadow elves. 20. Strix Monk. Wings aren't necessary. Interesting. But that's what makes a Strix a Strix.
I think they probably mean you don't need to worry too much about the wings in the pose.
Ah, good. All right, end poll.
Because we always complain about them taking up too much space anyway.
Dang it. Diablo. I'm gonna get real curved.
How are people who are playing Diablo enjoying it, by the way?
So far, everybody I've talked to has really been enjoying it.
That's good.
It's
I've finally started to get annoyed by the commercials.
funny. It's hyper cinematic, which is not what I expected, but it's probably my only complaint so far. But it's not even really a complaint. It's just not what I expected.
Like, how dare you show me so many cutscenes?
Yeah, almost, yeah, because it's just like, I'm here to smash stuff, and then they're like, watch this guy walk slowly through the snow for 45 seconds. It's like, I'm kind of upset, but like, it does look really good. Like, this is nice. It's just like, all right, I want to punch a demon.
You're gonna play a game, not watch a movie.
Yep. What is something in D&D that you will never allow as a DM?
Mimics.
Man, I use mimics all the time. I love it. Basically toxicity. Like, that's it. I'll stop a game if people are being dicks to each other. I have stopped a game. Yeah, but like rules wise, I'm usually pretty chill. Like if it's in a book, it's had some thought put into it. And if people bring like homebrew to me, I just sit down with them and talk about it beforehand.
Yeah.
As is the intelligent thing to do. Lars has blindsided me a few times. With just like, I did this. And it's like, okay. That's a little broken, but we can work with it. But yeah, I don't think there's anything I like straight up ban.
Yeah, same.
Centaur, Totem, Barbarian, Elk, Lore, Bard, Athlete, Ground... Champ, Wrestling, Ground, Mobility Fighter? Illithid PC. I like Illithids. I think they're interesting. John, is that a suggestion or a something you ban at the table?
The only reason I wouldn't allow an Illithid is if it was clear that the that the illithid didn't match in the setting, or it was clear that the alignment of the illithid in question, as chosen by the player, was not going to match the type of game that we were playing.
Yeah, like I could see a problem with the illithid if like they want to not. They have to be willing to play as a PC. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
like if
yeah.
you're playing an illithid as like, well, I'm part of the hive mind. It's like, is the hive mind interested in being part of the PCs? Because otherwise, you're essentially just going to leave the party very quickly.
Yeah. But like that's neither of those things are exclusive to illithid. Like I will do that for any creature that is not like explicitly stated as being a vanilla player character option.
I don't like this. I wanted to make them like, well, maybe I still can. Maybe I just need to do it a little different. Now we're going to go a different direction. I like this profile, but... Sit up straight. Centaur is a suggestion. Okay, gotcha. I'll add it to the list.
I do love really big, monstrous creatures as PCs.
Dang it. I think I gotta start over. I really like this head, but it's just not the pose I want now. Okay, apparently the QR code is not a good idea. People don't like it.
Well, asked if we ever used it, and I was like, no, I've never used it.
That's fine. That's good information. I'm not offended. I'm just saying.
You sounded.
Well,
offended.
apparently it's not doing its job, so I gotta think of something else. I'm offended that the QR code has failed me. I guess I should say I wasn't upset with your answer. I was upset with the QR code.
Okay. Oh god.
Ugh, I gotta work on a pose here. Hold on. Nope. Nope, that's not right. Strick's actually a pretty cool... Maybe I'm doing this the wrong way.
They are humanoid owls, so they should be 90% foot.
Yeah.
Or like, no, I'm mostly kidding. They get real creepy when you do that.
Down and out. Okay. That's what we're gonna go for. Welcome to the goblins. Welcome in, welcome in. John, let me, if you message me on the Discord, I will give you the goblin permissions on there as well. But welcome in. Thank you. Welcome to the membership page. Most of the stuff I have is posted on the Discord. But you do get access to the emotes, and occasionally I will post stuff a little early for members to check out. Yeah, like some of the drawing. I didn't do my coloring book page this week again. So I was so busy. It's been a weird couple of weeks.
With eye stuff, that's
Yeah.
that's okay.
Eye surgery will kind of Kick your butt.
Yeah, I feel like you've got a good enough excuse to have not done that this month.
Still want to do it though. They'll catch up. I appreciate it, John. I do appreciate it. Welcome in.
Excuse me.
And there is a whole, we have like a Patreon section on the Discord that the YouTube members get access to. So if you haven't checked out the Patreon, definitely check out the Patreon as well. Or you can join the YouTube members or the Discord members to gain access to the digital stuff there. So, all viable. Now I'm just leaning real hard into Owl. Which is a dangerous thing to do, but let's do it. Go get a couple monsters, guys. Yeah. Just don't have the money to be a member. I would if I could. The new Zelda game won't pay for itself. That's a fair choice.
Yep.
Yeah. No, the best way you guys can support me if you don't want to throw money at me is just hanging out in chat, talking in chat, commenting on videos. It's great. Those of you
Never
who can,
feel bad for what you can't do.
Exactly. Yeah. I appreciate everybody here. Normally I do push-ups when I get tipped, but I can't do that for another month. I guess another week and a half is when I'm supposed to, but I'm going to wait until my next doctor visit.
That's fair.
I want my eye to stop bleeding first, and then we'll go from there.
I am going to hold you to it. I'm going to get you back into exercise.
Oh, yeah.
I need a
to.
workout, buddy.
That's fair.
I am actually very much looking forward to today's workout. I feel like I really missed not being able to work out on Wednesday.
Just that one day hurt, huh?
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because like I've been so exhausted
8-count bodybuilder.
and whining about it constantly.
Stop being a bitch. I did, of course.
I can be a basic bitch if I want to.
And that is your prerogative. Guess that's. My balls.
Ugh, my heater kicked on, and now my nose is itchy.
Itchy and dry.
Yep. Nah, it's blowing dirt in my face. The people that are supposed to come up and clean it are supposed to be here yesterday or the day before, but I had the eye appointment, so I had to reschedule it. So I say clean. I guess there's just cleaning the furnace itself. At one point in time, they're like, "We can clean your air ducts for $700," and I was like, "Get out of my house."
Be gone from me.
Ain't nobody got money for that.
I do need to clean my air ducts, though. That's going to be a whole process. I have all these things I want to do this summer, and then my eye exploded, and I was like, shit, it's already summer. I got to start doing it. Look it up. We had to do them in boot camp. 57, and I can still do 10. Nice. Yeah, I'll check it out.
8-count bodybuilders, huh? We'll check that out. I had a friend that was in the Army Reserves. When he got back from Iraq, he was just like, "Jim!" And I was like, "Ah!" And so he would just run me ragged till we couldn't move. We did that like 3 times a week. I miss that. I miss like really intense workouts, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea what my body can handle anymore.
I mean, like, I bet it'll take you a while to get back to that point, but I bet we can get you there.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would ever be able to get back to that point either, and I think I'm almost there. If I can get my calorie count up high enough, which is my biggest struggle and has always been my biggest struggle, so like there's no guarantee I'll be able to, but I think that if I can manage to get my calorie count up high enough that I'm going to be there.
Good.
Like, that's exciting. That's one of the reasons why I'm excited to work out today.
At the peak of my unhealthiness, like at the most I've ever weighed, which I think was like 235, 220, 230, something like that, 230, 235. I went for like a hike and I couldn't breathe, and I was just like, the hell happened to me? And so even now, like after getting hurt last year, I started going for walks because like, you gotta get your blood pressure down, you gotta start walking, you gotta start doing stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, I guess since I stopped working at the restaurant, I'm not walking 2 miles a day anymore. And it was actually like, it was hard. I'd go out and get out of breath just walking around the block, but after about a month of that, like I can walk forever now. And so it's like, okay, we got that back. Now let's actually see what we can do with it. So yeah, I don't expect it'll take me too long to kind of catch back up, but I know for sure I don't want to push it too hard because I'm old. I'm getting old.
Yeah. That's the thing. You just gotta take it a step at a time, real slow.
Yeah, I miss being 22, right? Same.
I don't actually.
Me as 22-year-old was an asshat, so I'm fine not being 22 anymore. But like I do miss being that healthy and indestructible. So, I get the feeling.
I actually think that I am healthier and more physically able now than I was when I was 22. Just because, like, that's kind of how chronic illness works, right?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, when you're able to work on it and have been for a while, you tend to feel better than you did when you were the most sick.
Gotcha. Okay, I can see.
Sorry,
that.
that's what I meant. Well, 22 wasn't when I was the most sick, but I was getting there.
It's not the reason why we play these games. It's the same reason why I play characters that are smart. I'm not good at playing smart characters, and I don't know if that makes me really dumb or just like, yeah, I assume it just makes me real dumb. I'm not sure how that works. Out of boot camp, 34 weighs, 185 pounds, could run 3 miles, do 50 push-ups, 30 sit-ups, 20 bodybuilders. And I'm tired walking up ramps. Yep, that's about how I feel too. Yeah, I used to do like one time I got mad at myself. Not like I wasn't like pissed off at myself, I was just mad, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking do something. And I went and I ran 7 miles at the gym. And like that sucked. But I was like, I was healthy enough to do that. I did do it, and it was like would not recommend, would not do again. But that was at one point in time in my life I could do that.
I haven't been able to do that since high school.
Yeah. And I think it was like 5 years went by and I was still at that same gym, and I like running a mile was just, that was when I was real bad shape.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta get better.
I do miss when I was in good enough shape to run 5K every day.
What would you thought be in a bunch of anime show mangas like One Punch Man, Dragon Ball Z, collaborations with Wizard? I mean, they already are for Magic the Gathering, but so take that as you will. And a big thing about it is just
the theming doesn't make sense. Like, I think you could definitely have 5e conversions for all of those, but you wouldn't want to use, you know, One Punch Man's thing for D&D, just like you wouldn't want to use Starfinder feats and stuff for D&D. You can.
Yeah.
Absolutely can, but like as a base model of like all of these are compatible, it's like depends. If someone wanted to play somebody that had that, I'd be fine with it. It's just a matter of making sure it fits the mutants and masterminds. There you go. Like a lot of those things already kind of exist. It's just a matter of what you actually want to play and bring to your party. I think a lot of people would just automatically be like, no, that's stupid, but like that's the Adventure League mentality again. It's like anything is possible. Just need to make
sometimes,
sure.
sometimes it is fun to do stupid stuff. Like in a lot of my games, I have in the past had like a special like luck store where players get basically special coins to spend in this luck store when they roll a natural 1 or a natural 20 outside of combat.
Interesting.
And like everything in that store is always homebrew, and it's usually pulled from like pop culture references. And it's just to be like, it has always served me twofold. One, it helps me to get players to stop role playing and start rolling, like making actual rolls and actually like investing time into the rest of the game in the world and interacting with the world. And two, it helps us all not take the game too seriously. When somebody can pull out just like the most random shit. Let's see. Like for example, it is an item that usually shows up is the walking bathtub from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
That becomes a magical enchanted basically like steed for the party. So there are benefits to saying like we don't have to take this too seriously.
I've had a lot of people when I started this channel, and it could have just been a handful of people that are still here, so you know who you are.
Be prepared to be called out on your shit.
Yeah. People kept asking like, how do I build a JoJo stand in D&D? And I was like, Eidolons, do it. Just like that's it. It's just an Eidolon summons. And I think a lot of the people that kind of get hooked up on that idea. It's the same thing with the psychic. You're like, it's not exactly what I want. It's like, yeah, but mechanically, if you want it to be in D&D, it needs to roll off these rules. Otherwise, you're just inventing something completely new.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to do a 5e One Punch Man thing? Great. Put it in a universe where that makes sense. Like that's just all there is to it. So I love it. I think it's totally fine. Custom class for Saiyans, one for legendary Saiyans. Yeah, see if you're building a whole new class for them, like that's one way to do it. Overarms. I don't know if I've seen that. That sounds really familiar. But not broken specifically for hybrid Saiyans. Yeah, and that's where you have to watch out for like custom building classes. It's like it needs to follow the rules, or you just have to let everything in the setting break that way, you know?
Yep.
There's no reason for Goku to be killing goblins. Like, why? Like, Goku wouldn't care. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's not a challenge.
No.
Goku would not have cared about goblins since he was 5 years old.
So it's just a matter of trying to make everything make sense is really what you got to work with. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with this one. This one turned out really well.
Yeah, I'm finally about done with this. Is this too much? This is probably too much.
You got way more detail than I did. Shoot.
Well, I also worked on this 4 times longer than you did for any of the last 4 you did, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that's how long you were working on that one. Is this the first one you did?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That explains it.
I got excited about the prompt though, so that's like,
Same.
that's why.
Like, I feel bad now because I did the squat frog. And then I spent so much time on this one, but like, I love drawing owl girls. It's kind of my jam. So, yeah. Goku could poke a goblin and wipe out their entire existence. Yeah. It doesn't make sense for the world. So, can he beat Goku? All the goblins have to do is kill Krillin, and then they technically win. Win a sweet, sweet instant death. All right, let's roll some dice. I'm gonna drink some water.
Is it still a D20?
Yes. Seven. Oh, we both rolled 7. That's super weird.
Oh, cool. I'll re-roll.
Hey, do you want to do a changeling? Let's here. Yeah, go ahead and re-roll, and then I'll give you the option.
10.
Okay, so you're either drawing a joyful changeling, wearing magical tech armor. That one's actually really weirdly complicated. Or a Batfolk, Way of the Astral Self monk, wearing a blindfold.
I'd rather do the Batfolk.
Okay. It says wields a ring blade the size of a hula hoop and loves to wear bells and rings. Okay.
You know what? That's right up my alley.
Yep, that's fine. I will draw the changeling, which is not up my alley, but that's fine.
Stepping out of a mirror. About that.
Stepping out of a mirror, wearing magical tech armor, fist bumping an older changeling, illusionist wizard.
That's too many things.
That's too many things. So I'm gonna draw a changeling.
That's 2 characters.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw a changeling with armor. That's what I'm gonna draw. Batfolk. I'm gonna go.
You're cheating.
I need to blow my nose real quick. Bear back. Here's you allergies.
What did I miss?
I don't even know.
Ah, that's fair. I kind of snuck away and made me a sandwich. A pimento cheese sandwich. Just something you obviously should not have.
No, absolutely. That would kill me. Well, it wouldn't kill me. It would make me extremely constipated for 10 days.
Yep.
Which would make me want to die.
Yeah, I've wanted a pimento cheese sandwich for a while, so my parents got me so.
Let's see. Which bat do I want to do?
A Honduran white bat. But honestly, I am biased.
My YouTube search history is going to be real weird this week.
You mean Google or actual YouTube?
Google, not YouTube, sorry. I cannot do 3 things at once.
Can anyone?
I know a couple of people who claim they can.
Sorry about that. I walked away from the computer and just like immediately sneezed. Oh, I forgot to do a color for the last one. Somebody used the QR code. Okay. I'm just gonna pick because I have to. Changeling in armor. My best Pathfinder character was a Kitsune sorcerer enchanter, specialized in glamour magic. Charms. Too bad Kitsunes are only in 5e. Yeah, I really like the Kitsune. I think they're pretty awesome. For 5e, it's actually not too bad of a. I mean, I made a Kitsune video. Go watch that. But you basically have to build a class around it. I think the tails
are a really fun way to do it. But with 5e, what was the thing? I basically gave them the transformation as a spell-like ability for jumping between wolf form and person form. I think that's the best way to do it. After that, you can kind of hand wave their tails, but I like that aspect of them. So.
In second edition, it's basically just connected to with how many spells you can cast.
Yeah, because I mean, but 2e has a really nice. The ancestry system basically lets you do that kind of stuff, which I think is great. Like, that's essentially what I've been trying to like have people do for the last 5 years. Is what 2e is doing. So I think they did a great job. I think it could be a little more robust, because like the Kenrasu only have like 4 ancestry feats. But they're like, take this one multiple times. It's like, I don't need other weapons. I need other cool plant shit. Like, just keep giving me ideas. So
that's always my big thing with them. It not just with Kenrasu, but like there are certain ancestries that just don't have like a level 17 feat.
There's, I think the biggest problem. Go ahead. Actually, finish up. I shouldn't have interrupted you.
Yeah, geez. It's just like there are some that are just like, oh, you only get to level 13 feats, and so like you gotta like either pick an older feat that you got like you can get like at a lower level, or just go without it.
Yeah, I think that stems a little bit from Pathfinder's want to. They have an overabundance of diversity. Like, they have just tons of races you could be, which is great. I love it. They still have a bunch from first edition that they haven't added in, and the problem is that they're trying to do that. They're trying to add more and more in there, but in the process, they don't have time to really flesh out those each one individually. And that's not the same thing. Kind of happened with like the advanced race guide for first edition. There's a lot of them where it's just like, this one gets half a page, and it's just like, I mean, I'm glad it's here because it gives you the option, but you really have to kind of extrapolate it the rest yourself. So,
because I know in one of the books, the like Impossible Lands, they gave more feats to things like the various genie kin, as well as like flesh orbs, because they're like featured in that area pretty heavily.
Yeah, and that's usually how Pathfinder does it. And so unfortunately they released a lot of races and they just don't have the backing for them yet, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But you can also kind of reach from other ones, which I think is really cool about the system in itself. So in those cases where they don't really have anything, I would definitely allow people to just kind of like to look around and take something from something else, you know. There's no reason to Kenrasu or
ancestry feats.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no reason that a Garan couldn't take feats that maybe an elf or a dwarf would have, because they're so long lived. It's just like, yeah, just go for it. That makes sense. If you spent 500 years with elves, you probably got something from it. So,
I would hope so.
yeah, I saw a homebrew of Kitsune that gave up to 5 tails from the character's levels and 4 more from heroic or traumatic events. Interesting. He still grants a new spell. I like that. It's an interesting way to do it. Yeah, I definitely like level gating certain things, but rewarding player skills for like grand gestures, I think is really cool. I love doing that. Like, that's kind of how Mercer did the vestiges. Like, once someone completes one of their arcs, they get this thing. That's a perfect. I love that. I love that about it. Bri, hello, welcome in. Demon Otter, yeah. I hope you like the Demon Otter. I didn't draw his tail, but I needed more space for the horns.
Let's see. How much do I want to anthropomorphize this bat?
How are you doing today, Bri? They said magic tech armor for this changeling.
Is that supposed to be Iron Man armor, or is that a specific armor that I just don't know what it is?
I mean, it could be Iron Man armor.
Okay.
I don't think they had like. I don't think it's like a specific thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it is just like futuristic armor made, like rationalized into existence by saying it's Magitech.
Got it.
Yep.
Perfect. Is he holding piano wire? He is. He's holding piano wire. I can't remember why, though. Why was the demon watcher holding piano wire?
I think it's just because that's what the pose told you it needed to be holding.
It was, and then I did a whole thing about something. I can't remember why.
The
But
devil doesn't like snitches.
That's what it was. Yep. The devil doesn't like snitches. Oh man, my brain. I miss Japanese themed D&D. Was there? There was a. I can't remember.
I know there's Legend of the Five Rings, which is like Asian D&D.
Yeah. I thought there was an adventure path, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is now.
There's Koratoa, which has been taken off the market.
Oh, okay. Yeah, $20 for piano wire. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Can't go wrong with piano wire. Oh, I said he was a cheese cutter. That's what he was. Not piano. For YouTube reasons, I have to say that he's just he's a artisan cheese carver. L5R was cool. Okay. Japan is a country that exists. That is true.
I don't think that's true. That's propaganda.
Oh man, I saw a flat earther thing that was trying to make an argument that Australia didn't exist, and I was like, I have to know why you think this, please. And so I watched it, and like halfway through, they switched it up to also Canada doesn't exist, and I was like, all right, I'm done. like I'll let you not believe in Australia, but like I live 20 miles from Canada, so I'm out.
Yeah.
If like assuming you live in America or can get to America, which is not unreasonable, like you should be able to find the border of Canada relatively easily.
Yeah. Like,
I can see Canada from my back door.
someone's just being purposefully
An idiot.
An idiot, yeah. Like, yeah, it's not even worth trying to be nice. It's just like, hey, shut up.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
They're either being stupid, they're either choosing to be that stupid to get attention, or they are just willfully that ignorant of
Willfully
reality.
ignorant,
In
yeah.
which case,
that's the term I was looking for. Willfully ignorant, choosing not to be. Yeah, Crane Style was really cool. I think there's a whole bunch of stuff for Pathfinder that came out, and it might have been 5 ring stuff. I liked it. What are your thoughts on the Lovecraftian horror style campaign settings? I have the video of the Obscura thing that Critical Role did. I'm gonna watch that today or tomorrow.
yeah, same. I've got that queued up actually.
So I like Lovecraftian. Like the Lovecraftian stories are bonkers, but they are also not great. Like for an RPG setting, they're not great because they don't have directed goals or achievements in mind. They're just like roller coasters of insanity. So if we're talking about like eldritch horror, outer planes, things that are too big for your brain to comprehend, I love that type of playstyle. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that's inspired by Lovecraftian horror style games. But like the necessity of having to use Cthulhu and like try to fit all of the Cthulhu Lovecraft mythos into those stories, I don't think is necessary. So that's kind of where I sound on. I really like mysteries, but I also my problem with the like Arkham Horror, I like being a wizard. I like having a sword. So I don't necessarily enjoy playing like, I'm a 1920s scientist with psychic abilities. It's like, I don't need that. Like, I'm totally fine just having unexplained weird magic powers. Really fun. Like, it's all really good. I just don't play it. So I've had a few friends want to play Arkham. Is it Arkham? Is that what I'm thinking? My brain is stalling out.
I know there's Arkham Horror, which is a board game, which I actually do enjoy playing.
I'm trying to think of the tabletop RPG. What's it called?
Call of Cthulhu?
Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, thank you. I have played Arkham Horror, and I have a bunch of board games like that. Those are always really fun. But Call of Cthulhu is just not my style. I've had a few people ask me to DM it. And it's just like, I don't think I'm good at that.
I've never been able to play Call of Cthulhu. Unfortunately, I've always wanted to, because I love existential dread in storytelling. But I've played Mansions of Madness, which is like a rewritten. It's basically pre-written horror themed TTRPG within the Call of Cthulhu universe.
Cool.
With pre-generated characters and super simplified rules.
Spirit of the East with White Wolf was exponentially better than Vampire the Masquerade. Interesting. We'll check that out. D&D does Lovecraftian well with the Far Realm, Abolus, Illithid. Yeah, I think so. I really like because the whole concept about outer planes, inner planes, like different circles of reality, like in the D&D Forgotten Realms universe and Pathfinder specifically, like it rationalizes those things as like unknown thing, whereas a lot of the Lovecraftian mythos is somebody finds out about something and like stumbles upon a cult or whatever, but for the most part nobody knows about it, and so it is like this quick dive into this just eldritch horror stuff. Which it's great. It's a really good, like, cool thing to evolve in, but like it doesn't perpetuate a good series of stories, which is sad. And so it's hard for me to try to like break down the part of that I want to tell a story about in D&D. So I've never been good at it. Because my experience with Call of Cthulhu is the GM must kill off characters. Lazy. Yeah, it's supposed that's kind of the other part of it with all the Lovecraftian books. Like nobody survives. And so
at least.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So it really is. It's kind of a race to the bottom, or the race to death. And that can be fun. Like it can be fun, but I'm just not. I've never really been into it as that. I love using like eldritch undertones for my stories. There's always something really big just kind of looming outside of the field of view.
Yeah. I love to have that in my D&D campaigns as well.
Like a whole beast or monster, which is even vampires didn't really want to mess with. Oh, interesting. There's a huge penalty for using certain god abilities where it takes a toll on your sanity. Okay. Yeah. Have you guys seen the old claymation videos from the Beyond? Very cool rendering of the story, much better than the feature film. I haven't. I'll have to check that out. I love clay animation. It's so good.
So creepy.
That was in Gravity Falls, wasn't it? Mabel is...
No
is
idea, sorry.
Falls? I can't remember. And maybe it was a Gravity Falls short?
Mabel's Guide to Everything.
There was an episode, I think it was Gravity Falls, when they discover that Mabel is terrified of clay animation.
I don't remember that.
Maybe I'm mixing up a different show. Let me look that up. It might have been the shorts. But...
I'm gonna say, I do think claymation looks very creepy to me. So that's actually why I said it. It's like it's very creepy.
Well, yeah, it's Uncanny Valley. it's really hard to not make claymation Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Little gift shop
Like-
of horrors, yeah.
What's it called? Wallace and Gromit.
Oh man.
Nope.
I love
Nightmare
Wallace
Fuel.
and
Chicken Run. Nightmare Fuel.
Gromit. I don't know if I told
Ah.
you. I might have told this story before. So I got when I was younger, I found an old like 8mm film camera. And I couldn't get it to work. And so one year my parents for Christmas like saved up and bought me like a crappy 8mm camcorder. And it was great. But the problem was like you couldn't take frame by frame because every time you hit the button it would start recording, and then it would, when you let go of the button, it would rewind 2 seconds, so there wasn't like a hard jump on the film. So I had to train myself to, I started making clay animations a ton, but I'd have to record for 2 seconds, let go, and hope that it would save at least one frame of what I was doing. And I'd make whole movies that way, and it was great. But yeah, I love clay
like
animation.
A bitch to edit.
Yeah, well, I couldn't edit at the time. There was no computer stuff to edit it on, so it was all, I had to do all of it in
Manually.
camera. Yeah,
Ugh.
it was great. It's fun. I can't remember where I was going with that. I got an anecdote. Oh, clay animation is, I love clay animation. It's so much fun. It's so hard to make. It's so much time. But love to do that stuff. Wouldn't the divine vessel just be like a goo rock? For what? Gravity Falls is based off of Lovecraft lore. It would not surprise me one bit. Freaking love Gravity Falls. Yeah, Druid. Season 2, episode 6. Go watch that. It's great. I'm sure you've actually seen it.
Probably. Does it come up when she's interacting with the mini golf course characters?
They go visit a an old animator who used cursed clay.
Oh my gosh, did I miss an episode of Gravity Falls? I didn't think that was possible. I don't remember that. Oh my god, I'm freaking out.
Yes. Season 2,
You have
episode
rocked
6.
Druid's World.
What was that, Corvus?
I said Druid has rocked Druid's World.
Yeah. 100% yes. Gravity Falls may be my favorite contemporary TV show. Or, cartoon. It might be my favorite cartoon of all time, actually.
Okay, it's the episode where Grunkle Stan is walking around telling people stories about the different things in the Mystery Shack.
Oh, okay.
I think it ends with a person being trapped in one of the exhibits. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I got distracted. Still funny. Okay, I need to finish this changeling. I feel like there's a pretty good story with this suggestion. Are they cloning themselves? Or just illusioning themselves out of the mirror? What does an old changeling look like versus a young changeling? Do changelings age? All of these things are questions.
They look like a dried out marshmallow.
It's just real wrinkly.
Just like really kind of like crusty looking.
Mad God is a bad trip. Yeah. There's one stop motion claymation movie called Mad God. I haven't seen that one either. Tons of dark and twisted scenes. Do warlocks and fathomless warlocks make good tie-ins? Yes, John, that is why I dislike drawing changelings. Since changelings can appear as any humanoid, couldn't any humanoid character be drawn as a changeling? Yeah. Yep. So when people suggest changelings, like sometimes they'll be like, I want you to draw this changeling character. They look like an elf. It's like, so you want me to draw an elf? Like, that's I'm gonna do that. So I've made a rule that whenever somebody wants me to draw a changeling, I'm going to draw it as a as their like doppelganger form, like the weird, creepy, featureless form. Because otherwise, I'm just drawing an elf.
Yeah, I know the times that when I suggest changelings, because I like their normal, natural state. It's cool.
It's definitely worth like playing into that. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
When they're just gray aliens.
Yeah. Just freaking people out.
Don't know
We've done
how
plasmids yet. I have, yeah. It's one of the older videos, but yeah, it's out there.
I don't know how I'm gonna give this bat monk a hula hoop chakram.
You could just give him a hula hoop, straight up.
Well, there's a problem with that, which is that anything that goes around the waist of a bat is going to get in. It's going to be hindered by the wing membrane.
Oh yeah, maybe it only hula hoops around the neck. Well, you should play Gray Aliens. I mean, doppelgangers are essentially that, especially in Pathfinder. I don't know. Jump Rope took a I want to say conspiracy class. No, it's like something of the occult, history of the occult or something. And I looked at a lot of the books that she had, and it's so interesting how much like gray aliens are talked about in like old school occultism. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's like I never would have gotten that from the History Channel. Like, you had to read these old books. So I'm glad that they're in Pathfinder, but God, it goes everywhere. But adding the hoops to their feet, that's true. You could do ankles. I mean, they're probably just holding it, but... Got into changelings recently because I'm thinking of making a divination wizard investigator. Harry Dresden-inspired guy. Okay. Changelings can pass on identities to their children, which is cool. Oh, that is cool. The race I've never seen played is the Simic Hybrid. Have either of you known anyone to play it? Yes, I've had one person play it. Kevin the Necromancer made a Vidalkin that I thought he was going to play as a Simic Hybrid, and then he didn't. So I was like, what weird stuff do you have? He's like, nah, I'm just going to be a regular Vidalkin. And I was like, oh. Okay.
Bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially, really all they are is just, you get to choose, like, I think the shifter race, I think is kind of a better fleshed out version of the Simic Hybrid, because the Simic Hybrid is really just a Magic the Gathering thing that they added for that purpose, and
yeah,
boring. Like the Flesh Warpers too. The Flesh Warped are a much better version of the Simic Hybrids. At least more thought out, it feels like, anyways. Aren't Aasimar gods? So Aasimars are outsiders, usually of a divine origin. So celestials, but not gods. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm more like angels. I think it's a better way to look at it. They're technically just tieflings and vice versa.
There what happens
tiefling as a generic term.
when an angel boinks a human.
And if an angel points at demons, you get the Nephilim.
which is what Pathfinder has changed their name to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's funny. I was making a Diablo joke.
Timely.
Magda. I want to play more Diablo, but I also want to play Final Fantasy. And I also want to get a video out. I have a YouTube short done. I just didn't get a chance to render it this morning because I didn't want my computer to explode before the stream. So I will render that out today afterwards, and I will post it. And it will be funny and hopefully well received.
that is the goal.
I don't remember. Was this supposed to be a sorcerer? Sorcerer wearing magical armor?
I don't remember a class.
Yeah, because they're wearing Magitech armor and high-fiving or fist bumping a wizard or a sorcerer.
Yep.
I think is what it was.
I think it was like a illusionist wizard.
Yeah. So we're just gonna beef him up a little bit.
Make him an officer.
You think it's 5E's version of Mongrelman? Who's that? The Asimar?
Or do you mean like the changelings?
What are you doing out of your cage, lizard man?
Because like, Mongrelmen are basically all the Simics. Yeah, because Mongrelmen are basically like just flesh warp characters who got warped by demonic energies.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Remember the character that you really hated in Wrath of Righteousness?
They were supposed to be a Simic hybrid?
The Mongrelmen.
Oh,
the goat,
okay.
Lizard Goat Man.
Got it. Yep. I forgot that's what they were called.
Which sounds really offensive. Not gonna lie.
But yeah, I mean, like, you don't get much more offensive than saying somebody is
a mongrel.
A mongrel, yeah.
That's what it's like.
God damn it! How do I put a blindfold on a bat with ears this large without making it look like a bra on his face?
I mean, make it a bra. Who cares? Also, you forget. Bat heads look like this, so yeah, you'd almost have to go under the ears.
Yeah. Well, I'm anthropomorphizing him in order to get the chakram, and he's gonna have 6 limbs.
The shifters, yeah, the shifters are a good way to do it. I think the shifters are like I said, the are a better version of the Simic.
I feel like you're mixing the shifter class with the shifter race.
They're both, yeah. I mean, they both came out at the same time, and they're confusing as hell. So, because the shifter race, the shifter race is 5e, isn't it, or is it the other way around?
So
yeah,
the shifter race is D&D.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the class is
Came out in
first
the
edition
Abraham book.
Pathfinder.
Yep.
I think that's a better Simic. That's all I'm saying.
Because the shifter shifter race is basically beast skin in 2nd edition.
Yeah. But and so I guess what I should preface that the reason I think that's better is because it mechanically has more options, whereas the Simic just feels like it wasn't fleshed out enough, whatever. As it's essentially just like, oh, what if you had claw hand? It's like, yeah, what if I had a claw hand? Like, just it's like pick random monster ability. It's like, oh, okay. And I feel like, which is fine.
Third?
Yeah, something like that. Which I feel like is the class does that as well, but you become like a chimera. I think that's cool, but it doesn't feel right for a race, and so yeah, I don't know. The Simic Hybrid could have been a little more fine tunable. I think a little more clear cut.
Yeah,
but it's still cool. I think it's interesting to say the least. But the Flesh Warper, I think, is way more. Flesh Warped is more interesting.
Yeah.
But that's in Pathfinder again, so no surprise there. Okay, I think I'm about done with this. I'm going to do one more. It is 2 o'clock already. Wow.
I'm actually kind of surprised that it's a ancestry and not like a versatile heritage.
Yeah.
They can slap on every. But maybe when you've been biologically morphed so much, it doesn't matter what your original ancestry was in the beginning.
Well, because I think it was meant to go with the Vidalkins. Like, it was supposed to be I thought it was supposed to be a...
Oh, I'm talking about the Flesh Warp.
Damn it. See, it's all the same. Yeah, the Flesh Warp, same. It should also be versatile. I think anybody should be able to take that.
But officially it's not. And Foundry does not support that just yet.
Oh, I think I know how to make that different, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Because you can basically force additional feats and features.
Yeah.
So we might just have to... Essentially what you do, I think, is you would open up what you gain from it and then just add the features themselves to the class. It's just not... Yeah, we can try that later. We can try it out. Try making goggles instead of a cloth mask. Yeah, that could be. You just have blacked out goggles.
That's a good idea, actually.
Okay. Let's do another roll skis. Here we go. A 4. Giant, soft, kind of orange half dragon with giant moose-like horns.
So Penny from Adventures of Gumball.
I'm having trouble reading this sentence. Could be my eyes though. Moose-like horns, soft eyes, and covered in scars and bandages with some honey. What? Half dragon, bear totem barbarian. Is a honey half dragon? Is that a color? Bear totem barbarian, half orange, half yellow dragon? Is it honey dragon? How's your eye, by the way? It's doing alright, Scumbag. Thank you for asking. It's better. It's on the mend. I'll put it that way. It's on the mend.
I can't parse this one. I feel bad. Like
the honey might be thematically related to the fact that it's a bear totem barbarian.
Could be.
Which means that it probably doesn't actually matter except for if you're going to choose colors, which you don't usually. That might have been a detail meant for me. Who knows?
Yeah. The other problem is that it starts with orange half dragon. Oh, maybe it's a half dragon, half bear totem barbarian.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out. Because there's spaces, but there's no commas or periods. So there's a double space after honey. So I think that's the end of the sentence. Giant kind, half orange, half dragon with giant moose-like horns. Why does it have moose-like horns if it's a bear? Whatever. I'll draw a half bear, half dragon.
Also half moose?
Maybe.
Because it's Canadian.
It seems like it's half dragon, half dragon. I'm not confused about that. Oh, what was the color we went with? Red? Alright. We'll end the poll.
use commas, people.
Commas, yes.
Unless you're a non-English speaker, then ignore my comment.
What would the other half of the dragon be? I didn't. What was the rest of it?
Just make it a half dragon, high mountain tauren.
Could do that. Scars and bandages, barbarian. I think I'm gonna go bear. Except it's probably a bear totem. Maybe it shouldn't be a half bear. Are they a person? Maybe they're a person. What's the other half?
Weird amount of details, but also no detail.
Yeah.
It can be really hard for people who don't draw to know what details matter.
Yep.
I was looking at, I think it was CritBit. CritBit's commission page. They have a really cool system for getting commissions. Like, it's all checkboxes. You just like, you go down a list like you're ordering a sandwich and like, add this thing, $2. Just like, check all the boxes and then they draw. Half dragon, half orc, half bugbear. Ooh, we could do half bugbear. That'd be interesting. I think we're gonna freeform this and just let it kind of go.
Loosey goosey, all like happy thoughts, happy trees.
Yep. Half ogre. Have sprite. That'd be interesting. Like a little fairy dragon. I think I accidentally made Moose Illidan. That's what I've just done.
Took after his old man.
Ears are up here, so the eyes should be up here. You are not a bear. What? No. Oh, he's supposed to have soft eyes, not hard eyes. Oh.
When you read that, I just like really soft, goopy eyes.
Ooh.
That's how my brain was choosing to interpret soft.
You know what? I think we're just gonna make him a bear. Half bear, half dragon. Why not?
Bear in Big Blue House.
Whoever suggested this one thinks I'm making fun of them. It's not my intent. Your commas were not clear. That's all I'm gonna say. More definition required. I don't know how to draw soft eyes. Maybe lower? Yeah, that works. Okay. Curve them out a little bit. Yeah, carrion crawler. I suppose so. Maybe that's how you get Bahirs. Weird bug. Man, I haven't heard carrion crawler in forever. Like, is that still in D&D? Thinking like dungeon hack is the last time I heard that.
Carrion crawler. I feel like I've heard about it fairly recently.
Nice. Okay, how do I make this bear half dragon? Need to not hunch. Stretch, breathe. Posture check. Drink more water.
All things I should do. I'm on the struggle bus with this bat. But
It's the end of the day. It's just how it be.
I feel like I've done too few. I know that that's not a reasonable thing to feel, but it's the way I feel.
I mean, you've been drawing for 4 hours, so. 3 hours, but it's fine. 3.5. Give him big old dragon claws. A tail. Oh god, I've drawn some kind of strange OC. What have I done?
It happens.
Have you seen Neopets?
I had a Neopet.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I did not.
That was
I feel
not a
like I
dig. It's
missed
just
out.
I feel like everybody everyone who's around your age had at least one.
Or why we like OCs.
They were NFTs before NFTs were, awful.
Yeah, monetizable. The first monetizable NFT. Neopets.
That threw me back in time, yeah.
I am currently the youngest person in this talking in the stream, so.
One of my friends' younger sister was really into them. We were just like, what is this? And
Just Pokemon, basically.
it's just Pokemon, yep. It's just
Pokemon mixed with
NFT Pokemon.
Furbies.
Yep.
Ugh.
Or probably not the right term. Basically, you had to feed them and like take care of them. So like little
Tamagotchis.
little
Yeah,
Yep.
they're the ultimate Tamagotchi.
What if Pete the Dragon was a furry? That's what I've drawn here today. Actually, they made him really furry in the new movie. I forgot about that.
Did they?
I didn't watch it, but yeah, they made him like full CGI and made him really, really fuzzy. Just not what I expected them to do.
Interesting. I'm down with dragons having feathers. Dragons having fur is a little bit weird to me.
Falcor.
Urban Rivals. I remember that name sounds familiar.
Are you gonna seriously tell me that you don't think Falcor was a little bit weird for a dragon?
I'm just saying, there is a precedent for it.
Yeah. No, there is.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Chinese dragons have manes, right?
Yeah.
I usually take that as feathers, but I believe it is canonically a lion's mane.
I think it is.
So I'm not saying there's not precedent in it. I'm just saying it doesn't match my aesthetic.
Druid's too good for the fuzzy dragons.
I am. Hashtag not my dragon.
Lindworms? I don't know if lindworms are furry.
I never have heard of them being furry.
I thought they were. I guess I always kind of clump them in with basilisks. Even though I know that's not technically correct.
Yeah.
But I always think about them kind of in the same class of just like the draconic and non-draconic version of basilisks.
Yeah.
Where lindworms the really long ones.
Lindworms are like proto-dragons.
Okay. But they have lots of limbs, right? They have like 6 arms?
No.
No.
They only have 2.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of then? I might be thinking of something else.
I don't know. It sounds like you're thinking of a Behir.
I might be thinking of Behirs.
But you already mentioned the Behir.
And basilisks both have like really lots of legs.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think I just was thinking of lindworms as Behirs. I don't know what I've drawn here today. But,
they're also almost always gigantic. They're like Titan-sized things.
All right. Maybe I need to check my lindworm lore.
In Pathfinder, they're called linorms instead of lindworms. I don't know why.
I think it's more correct from where they're from in terms of like
Pathfinder did the research. Quoted it correctly.
It's not surprising to me if that would be the case.
Well, they're also called linorms in D&D as well. So I think common tongue, it's like lindworms because people shorten them.
They have a D in it, right? Lindworms? Is that what we're talking about?
Let me see.
Yes.
What is the pronunciation versus the spelling that you're saying one is different than the other?
Linorm. Linnorm.
Ooh, interesting. Not worm, huh?
Nope.
Linorm. Do not have fur. Okay.
Yep.
I looked up Dragon Bear. Most of them look like dire bears. We could get more spikes. Fine with that.
Let's see. 2nd edition Pathfinder says linorms are immense primeval dragons of the northern reaches of the world. And they are specifically based off of Norse mythology, I believe.
Okay.
So a lot of the dragons or giant serpents in Norse mythology, it would not be uncommon for them to be characterized as linorms. Linorms hate those they deem to be lesser creatures, which is everybody, and seek to inflict as much suffering as possible upon their unfortunate victims.
If you kill one, you have to make a save or suffer their death curse.
Yeah.
How I think Lindworm is probably from like folktale stuff.
Well, Lindworm is just a colloquialism.
it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, from what it looks like in the Pathfinder bestiary, if you consider the winged dragons as mage dragons, as magic-based dragons, the lindworms are like that. They tend more towards like physicality and curses, so they could be
Yeah.
like blood ragers. If your red dragon is a fire wizard, then your lindworm is a blood rager.
What was the other thing I was thinking of? I can't remember. This one kind of turned into a silly one. I might do one more if Druid still needs time to draw.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Sure, I'll do another one. Be right back. Give me 1 second. People are going to be like, hey, what's this stream about? The hell is going on here?
I feel like what the hell is going on here would be a valid question, and I don't know how I would answer it.
I hope Pathfinder puts out a Lenorm bloodline like they did for 1E.
Yeah, same. I kind of like Linorms better than like chromatic and metallic dragons.
Oh yeah.
I think they're a lot more fun. They
Yeah, there's
really
a
are
whole-
they're the grumpy old men of the dragon world.
Yep. You
Get
young
off
kids
my property.
today.
Yes.
I know there's a nation in the Pathfinder universe called Land of the Lenorm Kings,
Mm-hmm.
and basically all their rulers, it's like a loose confederation of little petty kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, all the people who rule have had to slay a Lenorm and survive. So that's why they're called Lenorm Kings.
Cool. That's a pretty rough prerequisite to taking the throne.
Well, it's not even like taking the throne. It's like if you beat one and survive its death curse, you basically get to make your own little kingdom in the lands. They're also like basically Viking people.
Right.
Sorry for nerding out, people.
This is a channel about D&D. I don't think you have to apologize for that.
Oh, maybe some people come here for art and not D&D.
Dang it. Hello.
Dang nabbit.
Okay. Doo-doo.
Dang nabbit, Percy.
Furry OC stream, let's go. Funny trivia. In real life, winged dragons are a minority. Most dragons are mythical like serpents. Basically, a barbarian character from here. His goal was to solo Lindworm. Nice. Interesting, he viewed as training for this. That's cool. I like that. Alright, here we go. One more. Rolling some dice. Rolling some dice. 6. A tiefling ASMR. Okay.
A Nephilim.
Threaten? Maybe treated? I'm not sure what the word. It says treated like an abomination by all gods, good and bad. So I assume that was supposed to be treated, yeah. Treated. Who's just trying to survive both heaven and hell. I like it. No class, but we can figure something out.
Well, we can assume they're probably not a cleric.
Yeah. Quick, someone shout a color in chat, and then that's the one I'll use, and it has to be one of the primary ones I always ask for. The first viably dark color. Yeah, not orange. I mean, it could be orange, but it's gonna be poop brown if you pick orange.
Yeah, it just means drawing with brown. Which I like to do. I like drawing with burnt umber.
Yeah, I guess I haven't done that yet. Uh-oh. No one's shouting colors in the chat. I don't know what to do. Gray. See what that does. With that background, I'd say with the primordial patrons, since they hate the gods, that could be good.
Or any of the eldest fae.
Yeah, that'd be good too. I'm just gonna draw Lilith again. Might not be visible.
I mean, you're essentially drawing Lilith's son. With her and that angel dude.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far. Spoilers.
Well, the spoilers from like 3 games.
Oh, okay. Is Lilith the one that made all the Nephilim?
Kinda. So, I assume you've heard about the angel called Inaris, right?
Yeah.
So he and Lilith were lovers.
Interesting.
And they created Sanctuary together.
Gotcha. Okay, that's the part I was missing from earlier.
Yeah.
This might be a
They had a.
It's a very funny conversation to be having because I was watching Drawfee yesterday and Willie was the guest host and he was talking about how he was taught in Jewish I guess
sacrament school.
Yeah. In temple, I guess. That Lilith biblically was Adam's first wife, and she got thrown out of the Garden of Eden because she wanted to be on top when they had sex.
Yep.
That harlot.
Not even that she wanted to like egg Adam. She just wanted to cowgirl. Is how he put it, basically.
I guess we're late enough in stream where
Anyway, it was very funny. It doesn't surprise me that there is a lot of conversation about Lilith, considering Diablo 4.
Yeah.
But man, just all of the stuff that people believe and have believed all throughout time, there's just some really, really funny stuff and some really weird situations.
Yep.
Portrayal of the Lucifer series. I started watching that. I got part of the way through the first season, and then I stopped watching it and Jump Rope finished it. So.
What is it?
Lucifer.
Oh.
It wasn't bad. I like the actor. What if the devil helps solve crimes?
The premise of it was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, the premise was not my thing. Good Omens is more my premise.
Good Omens is great.
Good Omens is hilarious.
I was gonna do a Halo, but maybe I'll do like a. Maybe I'll do something a little grander.
2 Halos with a bunch of eyes all over it.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of something like. I just watched The Green Knight, and I freaking love Arthur and Guinevere's. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love their costume design. Like it's still like fantastical, but very like rooted, and I love it. They did a really good job in that movie.
Also, like, they've made like Arthur kind of old and kind of decrepit.
Yeah, he's just like aging and dying. That was pretty interesting.
What do you get for taking the cursed sword?
Yep. You're back. A bit late, but you're here. Yeah, we almost ended, but we didn't. Karina from Drawfee videos on Yu-Gi-Oh! Are incredible. I love it. Just hours of genuine love for the series. Oh, Karina.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I heard Yu-Yo. I'm like, what's Yu-Yo?
Yu-Yo?
Never heard of that.
Hey, Yu-Yo!
I was like, what the? Never heard of that before. What
Sounds like an insult someone in New York would yell at you.
Yo, yo, Yu-Yo.
Get out of the fucking street. Hey, fuck you. No, fuck you. Fuck you. That's New York, right?
Close enough.
I'd argue that's just America in general some days.
That
Oh,
is
man.
Totally.
I was
100% fair.
at the store yesterday, and they only had 2 lanes open, and it was getting busy. Like when I got there was nobody there, and within 20 minutes there was lines all the way back to the back wall, and this guy was just walking up and down, like everyone standing in line, just being like, "Look at these fuckers." I'm just like, man, chill out. Like, we're all just hanging out, and you're in front of us, so like, stop. Don't interact with me. Just go back to your spot. Leave me alone. I was like, man, this guy's so mad, and I wanted to like talk to him, but it's like it's not worth.
Nope.
Yeah. Dear sir, calm down. I should have just yelled "calm your tits" at him and see what happens. Like, no one can be mad when they tell you to calm your tits. I mean, I guess some people can, but probably not appropriate. Don't try.
Never underestimate an American's ability to be mad about something incredibly stupid.
Yeah. I'm an American.
Exactly.
You're
So am
basically
I.
Canadian.
And calling us all out.
Basically Canadian. I'm Canadian adjacent.
Yep.
I still have never been to Canada. I should, but I just haven't.
I thought about
Nope, no bards.
when I was living in Richmond, taking a train up to Montreal City for like a day just to say I've finally been out the country.
Wait, didn't we draw your bard on Wednesday? Is he the one that has the rings? Or did that just happen to have another Mind Flayer bard? Yeah, I think we did. I think Drew drew it.
I don't remember. My brain is fucked right now.
I do remember a juggling bard, or a juggling illithid bard. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did draw that.
I didn't say anything about rings. Yeah, I remember being when Druid was doing that. I was like, juggling rings, interesting choice, but not too many people juggle rings.
I thought that it made. I thought that it was less intrusive to have him juggling rings than to have him juggling batons, and I didn't want to have to erase half the face that I spent, that I redrew 3 times and spent 20 minutes trying to figure out.
Juggling batons, eh?
And yeah, like I felt I wanted something with a handle because he was juggling with his face tentacles, and I thought that balls didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Balls to you.
For juggling, we're using tentacles.
Could have been scarf since it's on his face. That would have been kind of funny.
Juggling scarves. I don't think I've ever
Burlesque.
seen or heard of that.
It's a good way to train people how to juggle because they fall slower than normal.
Oh,
Well, like, not like neck scarves, like handkerchief scarf things. Like,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, like sheer scarves.
mm-hmm.
I vividly remember in kindergarten being told that I had to juggle scarves for my class once, and I did it, and I think I started crying for it. Weird times.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about school.
You
Yeah,
probably
Corvus,
can remember
jeez.
kindergarten.
I can absolutely remember kindergarten. It was traumatic and awful, and I hate it, and I don't want to talk about
Yeah,
it.
I feel the same way. I really am just gonna go full Soul Calibur 4 on this hula hoop, on this bladed hula hoop design. Well, I think the character had like 3 spikies on it, and I'm gonna go 4.
There were a couple different ones. There was like a straight one with spikes, and one that was like a weird saw. What does proficient in an instrument in 5e mean? Absolutely nothing. Does it mean that you are really good at playing at the cello? You are, whatever your proficiency is, better than the normal person at playing the cello, is what that means.
Yeah.
If you're trained in
It
it,
means if you're going to make a performance check to see if you can like distract somebody or influence somebody with your talent, that you get to add your proficiency bonus. That's all it means.
yeah. I think it's really weird how they do that, because like performance is so many things. It's not a performance in something.
Yeah.
And that's why I do think, like, you have lore, you should also have performances. So you would have performance cello. Because otherwise, yeah, it's just, you're just proficient in performances with that tool, because it's a tool. So just apply your normal stat, which would be performance, which would be charisma, and your proficiency to it. Is what that would mean.
All right.
Also, more news about smoke in New York. It's actually fires. America is special. Oh yeah. I'm super bummed. I still like would absolutely. Well, I can't say that. Romantically, I want to move somewhere and start a tree farm. I hate, like, more so when I see all the fires. Like, no, gotta protect the trees. So, I also don't really want to deal with the lumber mill because they're loud. But I romantically like the idea.
And you could always just sell them
Sell
to
it.
like
It's true.
As landscaping trees.
That's true too.
Or you could grow Christmas trees.
I'm less interested in that. I just want to own a big forest. That's all I want.
Same. I want to buy a bunch of land that used to be in the California redwood forest and is not because of logging, and return it to California redwood.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Except California sucks, so I'm good.
Yeah. We had this conversation literally Wednesday.
Yep.
You guys don't have to like California. I want to live there. And when I do, you guys can come to San Diego Comic-Con and stay at my house if you so desire.
You would have a house?
Probably just be a tree.
Old house.
The goal is to have enough land that I can build some experimental architecture. So probably maybe more
What's
like a
that?
shed, but it would have a bed in it.
You want to move to California and start a commune? That's never been done before.
But I don't need it to be an original idea. It's just a thing I want to do.
That's fair. That's fair. Proficiency with an instrument is basically performing only with that instrument. Your house rules that you have a proficiency and the tool proficiency, and both apply in the roll. You get advantage. Oh wow! See, that's double stacking, and that's kind of the thing that I don't get about the performance. Like if you are proficient by your class in performance, Pathfinder used to make you actually pick a few things. So maybe that's why I have a chip on my shoulder for it. Got it. Wait, she saw it. Screenshot. Start a bamboo grove. Invite a bunch of pandas. Maybe I can convince people to pay for it if I say it's a panda reserve.
If I was gonna grow bamboo, I don't think I would invite. Don't think I'd have pandas. I think I'd have capybaras.
Do they eat bamboo too?
They'll eat pretty much anything. I think in their natural habitat they eat really large, hard tree nuts.
Yeah, tree nuts.
But like, they're also grazers.
Yeah. Eating all their swamp grasses.
Yeah.
Everybody loves swamp grass.
When you said you don't want to have pandas, I thought you like, do you want red pandas? Because they're far cuter than giant pandas.
Absolutely, but I do not want to be responsible for a bunch of red pandas getting loose in California and becoming an invasive species.
But be so cute.
Yeah,
aloe
but we
plants
don't need.
because I like aloe plants.
Oh, aloe. Oh, yeah, aloes would be a great thing to raise in California. Aloes would be a great thing to raise anywhere in the southwestern United States.
Grow agave, make your own mezcal.
You can't do that. It's illegal.
No, it's not.
I guess it's not illegal. It's just not actually mezcal unless you make it in that. There's something about that. There's something about the.
That only applies to tequila, and
Okay.
that is a stupid thing that American companies force Mexico to do.
Really? That's very
Yeah.
strange to me.
I mean, it's just like the. It's just like it's a branding and taxation thing, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
I watched a whole video on it once, and I didn't care enough about it to really retain any of it.
Yeah.
'Cause France gets real uppity about regionality.
Right.
But it's like it's kind of understandable to me for France to do that because people sell a lot of stuff claiming that it's from France when it's not.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like it makes sense to me that they would want to protect their food heritage.
We're getting political. Just, I guess, if you really want to talk about it, if you're passionate about mezcal, you can talk about it. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I don't. I
No.
do not want to grow agave and make my own
Well,
mezcal. I think I'd rather have a vineyard and do wine.
I just
Again,
thought,
what, moving to California and having a vineyard and making your own wine? Yeah, that in a commune. Wow, super original.
I would definitely start a commune, but not in California. That's what we'll do. One day, if I ever find some way to buy a whole bunch of land somewhere, but I need money, we'll start the Kickstarter as like the Cult of Rook, and we'll let it happen. We'll let it happen.
I know what we call it too. It'd be great.
We'll sacrifice changelings on an altar.
Ooh, that's dangerous, but yeah, sure.
I suppose I should say we sacrifice pictures of changelings on an altar.
For legal reasons, I have to clarify.
Changelings are not real, so.
Ooh, that's dangerous too.
Bionic, that is actually very regional. The jaywalking thing, it depends entirely on how much a state or city enforces jaywalking and how safe the city is built for pedestrians.
Yeah, we used to I was gonna say bitch and moan, but maybe that's not right. My head just went back to the 90s, so I had a moment. We used to get really pissed off because the cops would basically just keep pulling over school kids because they would get out of school and then they would just cross the road. Like, the road wasn't busy enough for it to be a problem. And so everyone complained about it. It was like, they're just making us pay all these stupid fines, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, 3 kids got hit by cars. And it's just like, idiots. So as much as I complained about it, and people complained about it, and like, oh, you shouldn't get a ticket, somebody needed it. Somebody needed more crosswalks on that road. So, I don't know anymore. That was my anecdote.
On the other hand, the people who hit those kids had better have gotten some sort of ticket for driving recklessly in a school zone when school was out.
No idea.
Yeah, but no, like, the entirety of North America has been affected very negatively by pro-car propaganda.
I mean, since the 40s.
Yes. Like, it is not a new thing.
It's
and it's
car-centric.
not a thing that's going to.
Our cities are built car-centrically, yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's not a. Ooh, that's a weird finger.
Anyway, I also don't think it's necessarily a problem for things to be built car-centric as long as everybody can afford a car.
That was a big thing when I was in Idaho. I did like a whole project about we didn't have a good transportation system. And after moving here, I was like, yeah, wow, Idaho sucks. Like,
yeah.
I got like 4 buses. This was 25, 30 years ago. But now it's like for everything that's bad, the transportation system in Seattle is not bad. Like, they spend a lot of time and money on it. So
yeah,
I was gonna say they probably have put funds towards that.
yeah.
It surprises me greatly that Utah is actually not bad about that. At least in the like primary residential corridor north and south of Salt Lake City. They've got trains that run, they've got a light rail that runs, they've got decent bus systems and have been constantly changing for bus and bicycle infrastructure. It's very surprising to me considering how conservative the state is. Having been to Seattle, though, I still think Seattle's is better.
Oh yeah, there's not a comparison there. Just because of scope. Like, the scale is different. To appease the Fey laws, we must clarify we sacrifice changelings on an altar in Minecraft. There you go. I'm pretty happy with this picture. This turned out way better than I thought it would.
Yeah, this was a struggle, but I'm happy with this bat as well. The hula hoop could probably be bigger, but I was not going to move the arm to make it make it taller.
This could have been better, but I'm not willing to do it or change anything.
Exactly. I spent too long on it already. Too much headache.
You have the cricket swarm issue where you're at? That looks cool. The Mormon crickets?
I don't actually. They stay pretty well under control most of the time.
Last year in Idaho, there was a big swarm of them, which I thought was interesting.
Thanks, John. I appreciate you complimenting the bat.
I find it interesting, Oliver, that you're playing a one-on-one D&D game with a bard. That's going to be really interesting to see how it pans out. Just because bards are usually backliners or supports. So being a primary character is going to be interesting. I wonder if your DM's gonna give you some heavy hitters or something. Or maybe it's just not combat oriented. Would also be interesting. Okay. I think I'm good. You good?
Yep, I'm done.
Okay. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I am going to try to post a short here very soon. So watch out for that. And then next week, hopefully we'll work on the new Why You Should Play video. I started drawing it and I started writing the script and I struggled with it, but I think part of that was my eyeball. So hopefully next week that'll go smoother. Commissions are open if people are interested in picking up a commission. I'm also going to be looking at maybe starting an Etsy store for a lot of my digital tokens and pieces. If that's something you're interested, let me know. Or if you just want to pick up some stickers. I'm trying to do like a cleaning a house and just selling stuff, so I'm not sure how to get rid of it. If we die, it's technically a TPK. That's funny as a single player, yeah. My D&D game is tonight going to be 2 players. Balance is going to be fun. Hope we don't TPK. That's funny. If you have fewer players, what I tend to do is just if there's too many monsters in the attack, have the monsters feel like they've taken care of things and leave. You know, just like, you guys got this. I'm gonna go get this thing. Like, there's lots of fun ways to balance in game instead of just having to like retroactively change stuff. I hope it goes well. I hope they have fun. I hope people don't TPK in their parties. Yeah, that's all I got. So we're gonna go with that. Let's see if there's anybody on the raid list today. Anybody around? Rip. Badoop. Nope. Okay, well, that's all I got. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. John, once again, if you want to jump on the Discord and shoot me a message, I will give you the goblin permissions there, and that will get you a bunch of cool stuff to unlock in the Discord. Like some of the... yeah, just a whole bunch of like tokens and things like that. So that's all I got. We'll catch y'all next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. Bye, everybody.
Bye.